Hey everyone, welcome to Victory Condition Gaming. My name is Doug. Today on the show, we're playing Demigods. If you are interested in this game as we're playing it, I'm going to tell you to hit the link in the description below. It is on Kickstarter. It's doing phenomenally well. And luckily for us, we have the game's designer on this session to GM it for us, Mr. Jason Mills. Jason, thank you so much for coming on yet again and doing this actual play with us.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is it was a blast last time, and I'm looking forward to tonight. This is going to be fun.
I am as well. And we've got a superstar cast of actual play players. Let me just go around and introduce everyone. I forget how it is on the screen. Okay, to my right is the one and only actual play expert and RPG enthusiast. You've seen her all over on every single show that does RPG actual plays. Morgan Nuncio!
I love you, Doug. Hi. How's it going? All right.
Was that good? That was what I was supposed to say, right, Morgan? Like, that's what you did.
I thought I gave you notes, but apparently I didn't. We'll get back to it next time, so don't worry.
I need Morgan's agent.
And next, speaking of the person next to Morgan, is the one and only any nominated RPG designer, Christopher Gray. You know him. You love him. You love Happy as Apocalypse on Earth. You love the Great American Novel. It's coming out pretty soon, and we've had Christopher on a few times. Christopher, thanks so much for coming on. You're actually going to get to play this time.
Yeah, I never get to play. I love playing this game too. This is actually, I played this game a lot. It's going to be fun.
Excellent. I'm really excited. I'm so glad you could come on too. Sure. And next to, we'll go down. Let's see, down next to Jason is, you see her all over this channel. She is an illustrator, author. She does the popular fantasy webcomic ageofnight.com. Give it up for Amanda Call.
Hello.
Amanda,
I'm here. Oh, I have applause. That's amazing.
Sorry, I don't have my soundboard up. I should have.
That's okay. My fellow players applauded. I appreciate that.
And then last but not least is the incredibly talented game designer. You know her from the North Sea Epilogues. Let's see here. What else have you put out, Kristen?
We have a few hacks.
Yeah.
On
hacks.
Yeah.
But pretty much most notably right now, it just came out, the North Sea Epilogues from Garfield Games. The one half of Dice Up Games. I was going to say the better half, but you know, Tim might not come back on the show if I say that.
It's true. It's true. He's very sensitive.
He is. He's very, very sensitive. Kristen Devine. Kristen!
Hi. Thanks for having me back. It's been a while, and I have been really excited about this game, so I'm so happy that I get to play it tonight.
Well, we're so glad to have you on. And before we begin, there's a couple things that I'd like you to do. If you're watching this, I would like you to do one, check out the link in the description of this video. There's still a few days. I think there's 10 days or so left. No, 7 days. I think
7 days.
7 days left. On the Kickstarter, if you're watching this as of tonight, if you're watching it after the fact, just check it out. I'm sure it'll probably be available on other platforms after it releases as well, if you're watching this well after this session gets posted. The other thing I would like you to do is hit the like button down below. That helps us with our analytics, and it helps sessions like this get noticed on the show. And then if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe, and that helps us as well. It grows our community, and we really love doing these actual plays for folks like Jason, so then that way their games get noticed, and we know that the designers like Christopher and Jason and Kristen, you know, they do these games because they love creating games and they love having folks play their games, and it's not really kind of a money thing. It's more, I mean, they'd like to make some money doing it, but you know,
dozens of dollars.
Yeah, you beat on me too.
But yeah, we just love showcasing their games. So if you could do that, we would greatly appreciate it. And at this point, I'm going to take my show, and I'm just going to throw it down here and give it to Jason.
Okay, well, hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out to play Demigods tonight. Or I guess staying in to play Demigods at wherever the place is that you are in. So Demigods setup, we've done a little bit off camera. The first steps are picking a playbook and going through some of the basic choices there. So why don't we go around, do I have a particular, actually it doesn't matter what order I write this in, but let's say what playbook you picked and just kind of introduce the character with their background a little bit so we have an idea of who they are. And then we'll kind of step through the next phases in kind of a speed round. Doug, why don't you go first? Okay.
I chose the Trickster playbook. And pretty much, my character's name is Connor. My divine parent is, how do you say, Hecate?
Hecate, I think.
Hecate?
Yeah, it's pretty much the goddess. What's that?
I always said Hecate. I'm learning something.
She's the goddess of like witchcraft and magic, and so that's my divine parent. I am I should mention that my dad is immortal. Amortal, not immortal, amortal. And my dad is David Blaine. Legendary street magician.
My condolences.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. And basically I'm really well dressed. I kind of like the whole image that you have here on this playbook where he's kind of like a photographer. Maybe I'm really kind of artsy. I'm like really into fashion, and I kind of don't want to be like my dad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, and like your dad's a magician and you're playing the trickster rather than the arcane, so that feels like a departure also from Hecate as well. So so you're a demigod who's striking out from the inheritance versus leaning into it. Yeah,
exactly. I don't really want to get into So is there anything else you need from me?
One thing I forgot to mention when we were chatting before is because mortals ignore supernatural stuff, you all can have some like physical traits that are unusual, like maybe your eyes glow or you have blue skin, or sometimes you have 4 arms. I don't know. Not that it would have any sort of mechanical effect, but there are things that might draw another supernatural's attention. You don't have to have anything like that, but if you'd like, you could have little cosmetic things like that.
Can my hair be kind of like have like this rainbow glisten?
Yes, I love that.
I think that's kind of what my.
I mean, I'm not a big proponent of dyed hair, but we'll make do.
Like a hint. I was thinking like those oil slicks where like you look at a certain light and it has like the purple.
Yeah, it gets kind of mesmerized, and not that my hair is very shiny and anything, but
it sparkles. It sparkles. Yeah. Okay, that's great. We'll come back around too. Morgan, tell us about your verdant.
Yeah, I'm playing the verdant. Her name is Nellie. Her divine parent is Itchel, who is the Mayan goddess of fertility, medicine, and the moon. So she's actually my homegirl, so like I love her.
Nice.
Basically, her parents are actually big pharmaceutical company, like chemists. So her being the verdant's like just weaving off just a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did Ixchel come in and sort of like spiritually adopt her, or was she sort of physically involved with one of your parents?
Adopted.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you have 3 parents, which is great at the holidays.
True.
Okay. And I'll go back and ask Connor this too, but what does Nellie do for work, or does she work? She doesn't have to, right? The demigods don't have to have a day job, but sometimes they do because they're bored.
She's a camp counselor.
Yeah? Oh,
like
cool.
a Girl Scout camp.
That.
Yeah.
Did we decide, where are we putting this thing?
Oh, we didn't decide that.
Where are we putting this?
Where are we going?
Like we just walked into the room with a large box. Where are we putting this?
We're right here.
Let's go.
That's my feeling right now. We were between Hollywood and Broadway, which are very similar, of course, but not at all, really.
Jazz hands.
Oh gosh, we're being haunted by jazz hands this week, Kristen.
Yeah.
We are.
Oh
Being
no.
pursued.
Oh, jeez.
There's nothing wrong with jazz hands.
No, I agreed.
They're
Yeah.
always appropriate.
What about Spirit Fingers though? Like just straight up Spirit Fingers.
Yes, I like that
I'm
as well.
good for Spirit Fingers, yeah.
Sorry, we got distracted. What we're doing.
But yeah, we are on a shorter timeline than I'm used to. Stay on task.
Okay, sorry. We'll get back to it.
Okay, so Nellie's a camp counselor. Are we
Mhm.
going Hollywood? Is she a California camp counselor? Is that?
Yeah, I would say we can do California. Like she can either be up in the Northern California area with redwoods and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or deep in New York. New York has woods, right? I've been in New
Yes.
Jersey.
They have some. I mean, you know.
I've been in New Jersey woods. I don't know if New York has woods.
New York very much has woods, yes.
Well, why don't we? Let's jump into Hollywood, because I know somebody is related to movies. I think that'll be a good connection to wrap that in. So let's decide on Hollywood.
Okay.
Looping back real quick, Connor, do you maintain any sort of day job, or do you drift?
I'll say that I'm a photographer
Okay,
for my day job.
cool. Okay, Amanda.
Yes. All right, so I'm playing the Celestial. My character's name is Gwen, and her divine parent is Artemis. And essentially, so she, her day job is actually very relevant to what she does also in service of her divine parent, where she actually works as security at a nightclub. And
nice.
is just kind of always trying to fade into the background and watching everybody and making sure nobody's doing things that they shouldn't be doing, either illegal or trying to hurt other people who are at the club. So
Interesting.
yeah, so that's kind of her deal, is that she's
Sometimes intervene right before a fight is about to break out. It's like
Oh, for sure.
she knew.
right, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely trying to stop bad things from happening before they do.
cool. I like that. Okay, let's go to Chris.
Right. So I am playing Dr. Sanchez, who is an arcane professor of mathematics. He uses his magic by way of mathematical formula. And his divine parent is Math, who really kind of adopted him because he did the right formula. And I imagine, like, you know, concluding this particular formula on his chalkboard summoned Math to him and said, "You're mine."
Oh, okay.
So there is sort of an adoption, but it was kind of by happenstance.
And you were an adult at the time,
Yes.
which is, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It happened, you know, in his early 40s, and he still has maintained that sort of age since. But I imagine it's been a couple of decades at least.
Does he still sort of keep a passing relationship with teaching?
Well, that is his responsibility, is to proselytize math.
Okay.
Young, eager minds.
So he's like a prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a professor.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's good. Also, just background for folks listening in, the Science Pantheon is something that I included where so all of the gods in this setting exist because people believe in them, and due to the number of people who believe that science is true but wouldn't be able to explain to you why it's true, they have invested their belief into the sciences, and it has spawned a pantheon of gods who resent their own existence for the most part. So but they can't deny the evidence of their senses. So that's great. That's where math comes from. Let's go to Kristen.
Yeah, I'm playing the warrior. Her name is Lita. Her divine parent is a goddess of 1980s action movies, Diehardia.
Oh my god, yes.
I like that.
Sure.
Is she a Christmas god? Like you meant your holiday
now.
goddess? Okay.
Also a holiday goddess.
Yeah.
She is pretty big, like you would imagine a warrior. She has dark brown skin. She's tall with broad shoulders. She's always been very athletic. She played soccer all growing up in her teens, still plays it now. I think she works on a movie set, but nothing glamorous or high profile, behind.
Like she does props or like
props. I like that.
Or something. Yeah.
Exactly. Behind the camera, stage, stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, and she has 2 mortal parents, her moms, Melly and Lucille, so she was adopted.
Uh-huh. And then double adopted by Diehardia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I like it. All right.
The way you say Diehardia, it comes out like D''Ardia, like Hardia, like an actual name.
Ooh.
That's really funny.
Yeah, the natural sort of plasmodic evolution of language.
Right.
That's going to happen. I love all of this. This is great. That's another example of the media pantheon, which I can't take full credit for. If you've read American Gods, that wizard of writing came up with a really good idea that is a little different in Demigods, but is a really cool idea. Okay, so let's go through the speed version of what gifts and moves you pick, because we did some of this ahead of time. Or if you have any questions about what your gifts do, I'll do a quick version. Anything that says epic in front of it is usually like a physical object. So like an epic weapon will do 4 harm. And since demigods have 7 health, that's quite a lot, just for reference. Now, monsters and other things are going to have more harm, more health than you do. So that's, a malleable topic. But so an epic weapon does 4 harm. Epic armor will reduce harm by 2. An epic shield reduces harm by 1 and does something cool that we would come up with if you have a shield. And then there are also things like epic tools and instruments, which I don't think are going to apply to us. So I should say a lot of the gifts on there, people have access to some of the same things. And then there are also unique things on each playbook that's different for everybody. There are also divine gifts, which are kind of divine descriptors more than anything. It's like an attribute where you can have, divine intellect or divine might. And we just know, like, if you have divine might, you're very strong, like stronger than most people. And, it's not necessarily going to affect your die rolls, but there are going to be situations where, like, maybe we don't roll because you're super smart and you would be able to figure this thing out without needing to do something like that. And then the third category is sort of the miscellaneous artifacts, where it could be some sort of quality about you or a physical object, but whatever it is, these are assumed to sort of be gifts from your parent or your pantheon, or maybe another god who's trying to win your favor. They can be from a lot of different places. So if we want, we're going to go reverse order this time. By the way, I'm just using the order on my screen that probably just looks like nonsense to everybody else. But let's go through your gifts. Oh, and if you want them to look like a particular thing, this is a good time to mention, like, whatever cool thing your stuff is doing. Kristen.
So for my divine gifts, or for my gifts, I took divine might, epic weapon. And then one of the options was to take a move from another class. And I took driver. So vehicles speak to me, they share their deepest hopes and dreams, and I can make them a reality.
That's so cool. Sweet.
I like that. Okay, we're gonna have to get some car chases in.
Yeah, she's got to drive us off a cliff or two.
Yeah, ideally.
Hey, I can pilot anything from a chariot to a space shuttle, so we can go anywhere.
Oh, we can have a helicopter chase, Jason.
Yes. Ideally. A helicopter speedboat chase.
Yes. Both.
Yeah. Ideally. Okay, that's amazing. I love all of that. Actually, Kristen, let's do your moves as well. Just you don't have to read the whole thing if you don't want to, but
sure. I took Unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
So when I start running, very few barriers can stop my momentum. Ironheart, so I'm a little stronger. And I didn't write the name down. I'm so sorry. I took the one where anything is a deadly object in my hands.
Oh, Polyarmory.
Polyarmory. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that move. So you don't necessarily have to note a specific epic weapon since you have epic weapon.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, anything you pick up. Oh, you do have to decide if it's epic, things that you hit people with or throw as a ranged weapon.
Oh yeah, I want it to be things I hit people with.
Okay, so
not ranged. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Cool. That's fun. Okay, so let's go to Chris.
Great. Okay, so I chose also an epic weapon, but this one is the pin because indeed, the pin is mightier than the sword.
Well, we'll see.
I love it.
I also have a ritual spell book, which I imagine is sort of like a graph paper moleskin like this.
Okay.
And that's where I cast my magic because I fill out the formula and then it manifests.
Okay.
I also chose to pick an additional starting move.
Okay.
So my moves are spell casting, obviously. I also chose cantrips. So I have these are moves these are spells that I can do without thinking that just come naturally. And I chose light, summon a nearby object because I don't imagine my character ever wanting to go and pick something up.
Oh Lord,
so
no.
The coffee comes to him,
Yeah, the remote control.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Do you have to be able to see it or just know that it's there?
I have to know that it's there.
Okay.
And it has to be nearby. I can't go and take the neighbor's remote.
Okay. Oh, that's
Your
too bad.
car
Unless
keys that you put away earlier that day and you don't know where you put them.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like that.
I also have Conjure reference book, which if I need to know a mundane detail about anything, the right reference book appears in my hand and I can look it up.
I like that.
I have the power of portal, which means I can open up a gateway to a safe place on the mortal plane.
Which is great for driving cars into.
Yeah, well, I like to use it to find a nice quiet place to read.
Yeah.
But if you need to drive a car, I'm sure that some arrangements can be made. Just,
Or a
let me know.
helicopter.
Yeah, let me know ahead of time so that I can clear the space.
Or a speedboat.
Or a speedboat.
Or speedboat helicopter.
Or if I just want to leap from a building. I also have a sanctum, which means I can go into a safe, secure place and practice my math.
Okay. So you're kind of a homebody wizard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. That's great. Okay. Amanda.
Okay. So for gifts, I chose epic armor, which is basically just she wears a leather jacket.
Okay, cool.
But it's magical. And also epic ranged weapon. As much as she would love to use a bow and arrow, that's a little bit conspicuous in the middle of the city in a nightclub. So instead, she has a really fancy taser.
Okay, cool.
And my animal companion.
Yay.
Who is, in fact, just a possum that she made friends with in an alley.
Okay, cool. Animal companions are, pretty much almost human intelligence. So, that's just something to keep in mind, that they're clever and helpful and can do a lot of interesting things. I like it. Did you say what Gwen looks like?
Oh,
like Katie Sackhoff vibes, but
a little bit. She does, because she has to kind of look the part of being security at a nightclub. She does. She's fairly tall and athletic, and has like the shorter cropped hair and several tattoos and piercings. But whenever she starts speaking, it's a little bit incongruous because she's very soft spoken and polite and chill sounding. So
cool. All right. I like that. Morgan.
All right. So my gifts are Divine Senses, Tree Walking, and Vital Aura.
Okay.
What is Vital Aura? I did not know where to read that.
So Vital Aura this is one of those vague ones that we can sort of decide what it means. Usually it means everything around you is healthier. You know, like you walk across the grass gets greener, or, it's kind of like an ambient healthfulness. And then the thing about gifts is they have this sort of like natural thing that they do, but then if you want to turn it up to 11, you can roll the Bend Fate move and try to get it to do something extra. So if you really needed to spread healthiness, you could do something like that.
Okay.
So by itself, it's not really like a healing thing, but it does, it can, get rid of toxins, or it kind of depends on how you picture it working.
I like it. And then my moves are Regrowth, which is like a healing spell sort of thing, which is pretty cool. Secret Garden, so like I can just like go into another plane of existence and like just hide away. Yeah. And then I decided to go with Shape Changer, so like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
Healer and the Shape. Wow, this is good.
I'm a druid.
I like it.
So druid.
Yeah. And Doug.
For my gifts, I chose Magical Resistance, and I chose Mimic and Wealth.
Okay, so wealth in this context, just so you know, is like filthy, stinking rich. It's like private jet wealth, right? Like that sort of thing.
Yep. Because
in general, demigods can just get whatever they need. It's not really like a thing. So wealth in this, is like just filthy, stinking rich. The magical resistance is kind of up to you whether you're sort of generically resistant to magical effects, or if there's a particular kind of magic that you're very resistant to, we could do that.
Let me think on that for a bit.
Okay.
And then for my trickster moves, I chose Outfit of the Day. Basically, I always look the nicest, and since I have the Mimic gift, I can use the ability to copy a specific person and their outfits. It's pretty cool. I also picked Fake News, so I get to take +1 to sway someone when telling half truths or outright lies. And I also took Nothing to See Here. When leaving the scene of my own hijinks, people don't notice me. But I'm not invisible, but people just have other things to kind of pay more attention to.
Also, one thing we should decide about Mimic, it's whether you want that base ability to let you look like someone else. Does it let you, copy someone's voice? Does it, does it do something specific? Well, like I had one person use it as the sort of like the taskmaster thing where like they could watch somebody do something and mimic their physical skill. It just depends on how you want to color that in, but that's one of those vague ones that we have to fill in.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to be able to like change my appearance.
Okay, cool. Yeah, to like an extreme degree, right? Because you have that and Outfit of the Day, so that's a big combo.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What does Connor look like normally?
Normally he looks pretty, kind of looks like an Instagram model.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm so off guard.
I mean, that's basically, I know you're supposed to role play, and play somebody else.
Well, you got to play what you know.
That's why it was kind of hard.
Exactly.
You're just phoning it in today.
Yeah, I just, sometimes you just got to.
Man, it's even his show. I thought he was going to put a little more effort than that.
Yikes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of tan, and I'm
Okay.
might wear Speedo at the beach and not be,
Sure.
Not be embarrassed. And
I mean, it's very
I charge some
European.
heads.
That's what everybody is wearing in Europe. So like,
Exactly.
Wait, we're talking about Connor, right?
Wait, no. Oh, yes, that's exactly what yes.
Great.
bye.
Okay. So, couple of the things we should do before we jump in. Almost done. Well, sort of. On the kind of the back side of the sheet where the character art is, if you have that in front of you, there's a section called Gain a Thread. So the threads are how we count XP. If you've played a PBTA game, this part's really similar, where if you save up 5 threads, you could spend them to buy an advancement. But threads are a dual economy. You can also spend them one at a time for some like immediate effects. So you have to decide if you want to save up or spend one where you can add a 3rd die to your roll, you could add a significant detail to the scene, or you could reduce 2 harm. So those are pretty flexible in how they're used, and sometimes it's hard to save up 5. So that's what threads are used for. Unlike other PBTA games, you don't get a thread or XP when you get a 6- on a roll. You will get a thread when you get doubles, and that's doubles in whether it's a pair of 1s or a pair of 6s. So any doubles, success or 6- or whatever you've got, if it's doubles on the dice, you gain a thread. Also, if you do something that we all agree is truly freaking epic, then that's worth a thread as well. That's awesome. We want to see epic stuff. And now, there are 4 things on your sheet that are unique, and they are ways that you can each gain a thread. You can only check off one of those, each of those once per session. You can check off all 4 of them once per session. And they're kind of what you're being dared to do with your character. You don't have to do any of those things, but I find it helpful to read those off so everyone else knows what you might be trying to do. Let's start in the middle this time. Amanda.
All right, so mine are once per session, reveal a lie, track someone down, present a new perspective, or pass judgment on someone.
Nice. Chris?
Judging you.
Chris, are you
Oh,
mute?
you're on mute.
Wait, no, is he? Yeah, he is.
Oh, no, we still can't hear you.
Okay, you're still muted. So I'm going to go to Morgan while you research that.
It's fixed.
Oh, hey, okay. Back to Chris.
You would not believe the things I was saying. It was amazing.
I believe it. Yeah.
Okay, so my once per sessions, cast a spell, chastise recklessness, investigate a mystery, and explain how magic works. So those are all going to happen, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Morgan.
All right, so mine are defend the wild, act like a plant or animal, talk with a plant or animal, share too much information.
Okay. Kristen.
Start a fight. I'd like to do that now.
Okay.
Finish a fight. Explain a battle strategy. Diffuse a tense situation.
Okay. And Doug.
Trick someone, cause a distraction, tell an unnecessary lie, and teach someone a lesson.
Okay. And so as we're going, feel free to chime in at any point of like, hey, does that count as too much information or whatever it is? You know, feel free to jump in with whatever that is. And self-advocate, because I don't remember all of them. And you want those threads. They're pretty handy to have. Okay, so that's how threads works. The harm track, which is also there, actually I think that might be on the inside. You can take up to 7 harm and then you're dead. And while you're dead, you can use your death move, which is on I think page 1. We can get into that if someone dies. if you're dead, that's a medium problem for demigods. Like we'll have to go and like figure out how to get you back. There's usually like a time limit. Depends on how you died. But you know, epic heroes die sometimes. So it is possible for it to be permanent. I don't want to completely take the teeth out of it, but you know, just be aware. There's a point where if you get up to like 4 harm, you're at -1 to your rolls. But conversely, 1, 2, or 3 harm, if you finish a fight with just 1, 2, or 3, you're not really injured. And if you just have a little bit to rest, that harm just goes away. So that's important to keep in mind. So if you end the fight with 4 or more, you need medical attention or healing, and you have the best healing move in the game with you. So that's strong. Then I think I'm forgetting something. Notes. It's also important to note your Ascendance move. That is right under your gain of threads, and it is the big, powerful thing that only you can do. And if you want to use it, you just say, hey, I want to use my Ascendance move, check it off, you know, take over the narrative for that moment, and sort of just let us know how it plays out, because it's a big, powerful thing that you did. But it is important to know that if you use your Ascendance move 3 times, you have become 2 divine, and you have to ascend to your Pantheon. So you have to make a new character. That character's out of the game because it's demigods, not gods, and that's important. Also, if somebody says, "Hey, I want to use my Ascendance move," it's sort of polite to not also trigger your Ascendance move. Which I had that turn up a couple times, and I was like, "Oh, hey, guy, she's already doing her Ascendance move." It's just the sort of what's it? Etiquette of the field. And let's see, yeah. So there's your Ascendance move, your Death move. Oh, let's talk about the attributes a little bit. So we've got 5 attributes: prowess, mettle, awe, judgment, and weird. Prowess is your fighty fight stat. In most cases, you use prowess if you're trying to injure someone, or in general use the smite your enemies move. Mettle is M-E-T-T-L-E, performed under pressure. I mean, but it's also being metal, basically. Like it's a catch-all skill roll. Like if you're, let's say, driving a helicopter speedboat, or hacking a computer, or looking up at, you know, it's whatever. If you're under pressure and it matters if it fails or not, then that's usually the role that's going to come into place. Awe is your charisma. It's a measure of how impressive you are. It's not necessarily an attractiveness score. So I mean, because you could also be terrifying and have a high awe. So that's your sway someone attribute. Judgment is like a catch-all perception score. If you're, you know, I'm not sure what games everyone's familiar with, but it's how well you pick up on what's going on around you and whether people are lying to you. And it also is for the read the weave basic move, which will let you kind of peer beyond mortal perception. And then weird is your magic stat. It's just your ability to manipulate fate and get your way. There's a move for that called Bend Fate, which can be used just by itself. It can be used to pump up what your gift does. So there's a lot of flexibility there. And then, let's see. I think that might be everything we need to explain for now. Does anyone have questions about what's on your sheet so far?
I don't think so.
Okay. So the next thing we have to do is figure out our spindle. And then we can do the speed version of Tangles, which is occasionally amusing. The spindle is a person, place, or object that is important to the 5 of you. You all risk your lives to save it or them. And it is the mortal thing that is propping up all of your fates. So normally demigods can't work together for the same reason that gods and goddesses shouldn't come to Earth, is they start warping fate and reality around them, and there's just too much power concentrated in one place. But with this unique event that's happened, the 5 of you saved your spindle, and its importance to you propped up your fates, and now suddenly, for the first time ever, we have this group of demigods who can work together, which is a bunch of gods and pantheons think, oh, this is awesome, let's put them to work doing things that single demigods can't do. And then there are also a bunch of gods who are terrified of you because you're way more powerful than a single demigod. So what sort of mortal person, place, or thing did we save?
But what if there was a performer that's the same person in all of our lives, but for different reasons? Maybe he was at camp, or maybe they were in my class, maybe they were in a movie, and there's this one person that kind of traverses all of our...
Yeah, that's pretty flexible.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
I was actually thinking maybe we all go to the same coffee shop.
That's also very doable.
And
A
it's
coffee
like,
shop like between the movie sets and the university, and yeah, I mean, that's always fun too.
but also the actor thing's really good too. I was like, what if it was like all the same old lady that worked at the coffee shop, and we just loved her to pieces? And
Yeah, it could be the coffee shop itself. It could be the old lady running the coffee shop. It could be the strange piece of art on the wall that you were drawn to for some reason. Yeah, it could be a lot of different things.
we can do either. I was just tossing that one out there too.
I'm not allowed to decide this one, so.
But this is up to us.
I mean, if it's a person at the coffee shop, then that's kind of both, right? 'Cause it's someone we all know.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's a good,
Yeah.
that works pretty well.
Great. What's our coffee shop called? We're in Hollywood. Maybe it's called Searchlight Coffee.
Mm,
Ooh,
I like
that.
it.
I'm writing that down. Searchlight Coffee.
Who's the person that we're attached to, though?
That's a good question. Is this like the owner, a barista, a regular?
It could be our favorite barista. They make all of
yeah.
our coffee the right way.
They know
Yeah.
who we are, and they just get it just right.
Yeah. Like when you walk in the door, even if there's a line, they start making your order.
I like that. And you know there's a line if there is an exclusive indie coffee shop in Hollywood. Okay.
And all the coffees have like some sort of names of like various actors and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's fun.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It's like the Gilbert Gottfried, but not so bitter. What's our barista's name?
What's like a West Hollywood name?
Oh, gosh.
I'm thinking like yoga retreat sort of names. Hold on.
I thought you were going to say you're thinking yoga for the name. And I was like, yeah, that sounds, I mean,
I actually the first thought was blueberry. I was like, oh no, hold on. I should probably rein it back a bit.
It could be. I think
not
Chris
far
said
off.
Sky. We could say Blueberry Sky is their name.
Or just
Oh,
call them
yeah.
blue for short.
Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Blueberry
it.
Sky.
Okay, blue, yeah.
Yeah, I like
And it
that.
smelled like blue cheese. So like, like that.
Oh, yeah, that's even better.
Crossing that out.
very
Blue.
fancy.
Blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so we saved Blue from a supernatural threat of some kind. So this could have been like a monster or an evil demigod or something. Gods themselves don't usually come to Earth and cause trouble like this, so it's probably not an actual deity. But what did we save Blue from?
One of the West Hollywood locals brought in their pet hellhound. Because of course he did.
This is like a mortal who doesn't know that they have a hellhound.
No.
Totally my
Love it.
service hellhound, you guys.
My
My emotional,
hellhound.
it's my emotional support hellhound.
That's what it is. Emotional support hellhound.
Emotional support hellhound.
Oh, I love it.
We have two children of the Greeks here too. Hellhounds typically being from Hades. I don't know if that's what you meant by that, Chris, but
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a good tie-in too, because the two of you would know right away, like, oh no, that doesn't belong here.
No. Get you back to the underworld, sir.
That is not a terrier mix.
Yeah. So this next question might be an easy dunk. There was significant collateral damage. What got damaged, and how did we cover it up to look less supernatural?
Well, obviously the coffee shop got completely trashed.
Yeah.
But it was totally a gas leak and minor explosion.
I like that.
Yep.
So this great big hellhound started causing all these problems. Mortals ran out just thinking there was a rabid dog, because they don't want to see a dog breathing fire and smoke. Like that's just unacceptable. So they escaped without acknowledging that. And I guess the five of you plus hellhound sort of wrecked the place. It was going after Blue for some reason. The five of you happened to be there at the same time. So that's important to know. It's also important, like, this is the day that the five of you like really met each other. Like, you've probably seen each other in passing, like, oh, that's a demigod. We shouldn't hang out because that'll make a mess. That's just like demigods get used to the fact that like they shouldn't hang out with each other. In the process of saving Blue and most of the coffee shop, we impressed a major divine being. Who did we impress? Chris, you're muted again.
The coffee god?
The coffee god.
The coffee god.
Java, you know?
Java. The coffee god.
Saved my place of worship.
Oh my God.
There is definitely a cult of coffee, certainly in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, like its own thing, separate from like where coffee actually comes from.
Right,
and
right.
Right.
Yeah, that's sort of like the pop culture sense of coffee.
Right.
Okay, so coffee.
Oh, the coffee goddess. Maybe this is the mermaid on Starbucks cups.
Oh my god, the siren with the two tails. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
That's what she looks like. She also smells amazing.
He smells like recently grinded coffee, like beans.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you go in the grocery store and you go past the coffee aisle.
Amazing. Okay. So she let the five of you know that you have her favor and that she greatly appreciated. I think that Searchlight Coffee is a special place. That's why there's only one of them. And so I think Coffee, maybe we'll come up with a better name for her, but I think she doesn't love, like, the fact that Starbucks exists is kind of like why she exists, but she doesn't love those like big chain coffee bars. So these little indie places are the juiciest worship. So that's cool. Now, flip side of that, we ticked off a different divine being in either the saving of Blue or defeating a hellhound or for some other reason. Who did we annoy?
Would it be Hades then? Because that's a hellhound, or
That's what I was thinking. Like, who does that hellhound actually belong to? Yeah.
Yeah, he could be annoyed that you know, and of course all dogs. Well, I guess some dogs go to Hades, but like it was fine because in my games, pets are invincible. But you sent it home, right? Like, you go home now. But yeah, maybe Hades was like, actually, I like that this hellhound was living there, and you know, why did you have to send it home? So yeah,
he was keeping eyes on stuff. He was like using it as maybe
okay, I like that
as a spy dog.
So Hades is annoyed with you for removing this sort of eyes and ears that he has there,
and tails.
Yeah, that's true.
Puppy dog tails.
Okay, so the last thing that we have to answer is why Blue? Why was Blue targeted? What made the hellhound go bonkers for Blue? Which is the name of my new band.
Bonkers for Blue. I love it.
They're playing at South by this year.
The what?
They're playing at South by Southwest this year.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Bonkers for Blue.
Bonkers for Blue.
That's a spy dog, probably spying on Blue.
Oh,
that helps.
okay.
But
So
why-
she was. So why was it spying on her? Like, what was special about her?
I mean, could it be that she had witnessed something supernatural and acknowledged it when other mortals ignored
Maybe.
it?
Yeah, maybe
So-
she had already started seeing past the veil for some reason, and yeah, that definitely like. Also, she would have like freaked out to see the hellhound for what it was, and that
Right.
probably like agitated the creature. So, because like you guys see stuff all the time, like that big blue demon who'd walked in, and it's just like getting a latte, right? Like he's not causing problems. Everyone else just sees a big dude, and you're like, okay, he's got like 8 arms, and okay, that's fine. Nobody else sees that. That's, but yeah, I think Blue was starting to see those things. So, yeah, okay, I like that. That's cool stuff. Okay. Now, usually we say that was 6 months ago or a year ago, and the 5 of you have gotten used to the idea that you can all work together. Although it's also that the 5 of you have to work together. Your fates are tied up and you can't get rid of each other. When you know, in the beginning, if you're like, oh my God, I keep running into these people, I'm going to go to that grocery store all the way across town. And guess what? 4 other people had the exact same idea. And there you are. Because
Hey,
yeah,
fancy meeting you here by the
Yeah.
bananas again.
exactly. So the 5 of you are stuck with each other, seemingly for now, which means your relationships have become tangled. There are tangles on your character sheet that are kind of, you know, in other games they're called like bonds or histories, things like that. It's important to note that these kind of say something about both of you. So it's important to check in and be like, hey, is it okay if I did this? But with a big group and limited time, we could do the speed round version and then check in to see if everyone's okay with what turns out. My suggestion is that you just fill in 4 of them at random. Maybe put Blue in for one of them if you want. Mechanically, what these mean is if you go to provide aid to one of your fellow demigods, you roll plus the number of tangles that you have with them. So having more than 1 tangles with someone is sometimes good. But if we want, now, so again, random could come with a caveat, like some of these are romantic ties, and if that's uncomfortable, we don't have to, you know, jump into any of that. It's really, it should be guided by your own comfort level. But my one encouragement is to try to get 1 for each other player at least, maybe 2 if you have, you know, like someone gets 2. And then optionally, you could have Blue as a tangle, although we'll all want to check in. Like if everyone has a romantic relationship with Blue, we should probably talk about that ahead of time.
We're all desperately in love with this barista.
Yeah, which I did have in one game, and it was epically rad, actually. Like, it was really fun. It was just a big old poly group, and that was fun. So
I've got some thoughts already if people are still thinking. So this one's easy. Connor doesn't get what you do, but at least they're pretty.
Nice.
Is that okay with you, Connor?
That's perfect.
That's a good example to start with because it says Connor's a little bit dim, and Dr. Sanchez is a little mean, right? Like that's what I mean by like these tangles kind of say something about both of you. So
I was actually going to fill in that says you just can't resist pushing Doc Sanchez's buttons.
well, yeah,
That's perfect.
Oh, that
So
works really
that-
well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to put down right there.
I like that.
You have a grudging respect for Lita's skills because I think that her connections with the spirits are way outside of my pay grade.
Oh yeah, as a warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You've fought the supernatural shoulder to shoulder with Nellie and trust them explicitly, which I like that idea, having some nature and math together.
Mm.
And Gwen knows the dark secret that I have kept locked away. I have a dark
Exciting.
secret.
Know your
No.
dark secret.
I don't know what it is. We'll
That's
stay to find out.
That's actually perfect because one of mine is that I know a secret that so and so keeps in their heart, so that shall be you.
Yep. You can also spread that around, and then you know 2 secrets, which is
Oh,
totally up to you.
I can know other things on some of mine. So
Chris, is that all of yours?
Yep.
Did you want to have blue in there anywhere?
Yeah, there's a good one for her. You accidentally injured Blue with your magic, but they know it wasn't your fault. So I imagine during the fight, things went crazy and probably dropped a beam on her or something.
Oh, okay.
But,
All
yeah.
right, good to know. How about Doug?
I said the one that I just can't resist pushing Dr. Sanchez's buttons. Nellie caught me in a lie one time and earned my respect. My respect. Let's see here. You and Lita pulled a hellish prank one time.
Cool.
And Gwen will make an excellent shield when trouble finally hits.
Ooh, that's fun.
And I put, seems like Blue understands why I do what I do. I'll have to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, okay. Sharp-eyed Blue. Let's go to, I'm going to start using character names. Let's go to Nellie.
Oh, okay. So, where am I? I need to pull my sheet back up. So it seems like Lita seems oblivious to the natural world because she works in Hollywood.
Does that work for you, Lita?
Yeah.
All right. You and Blue pulled off a newsworthy bit of eco-terrorism.
Nice.
Good old eco-terrorism. You never know. You can always count on Connor when it's time to party.
Oh, okay. Does that work, Connor?
Yeah, of course.
My image of Connor is so crystal clear in my mind. As I live, Chris and I both live in Los Angeles, and I think we both have a really clear idea of who it is we're talking about.
you know this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfectly okay. But we know him.
Gwen could learn something from the ways of Mother Nature. I think just because you've got your like fighty skills, maybe just taking a little nature time. Just breathe it in. And then my last one is, let me find it. You can't seem to wrap your head around Dr. Sanchez, and you're not sure you want to because math is hard.
Yeah, right? That's scary.
It is.
Y equals mx plus b.
It's another language I don't understand, okay?
So for Gwen.
All right. So I have seen a dark future thread tangled around Connor.
Mhm.
Something
All right.
bad's gonna happen to you.
Doug's face.
And I was wrong about Blue, but I can't figure out why. And then I can change this if the player is not comfortable with it, but I thought it would be fun. Is that you ache for Nellie, but have seen what will happen if you reveal your true feelings.
Oh, I love it.
And also, I know the secret that Dr. Sanchez keeps in his heart.
Oh.
And someone in Lita's Pantheon is plotting against her, but I don't know all the details.
Ooh.
I mean, DeHardy is going to be full of plot twists.
Oh, for sure.
Totally.
All right. Okay, is that all of them?
That is all of them, yes.
Okay, cool. Let's go to Lita.
Okay. Gwen has real combat experience that I admire.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
Yeah.
I feel myself drawn to Dr. Sanchez, and it says why. And I think it's because Lita is very much athletic, and he seems very much an academic. And so she's kind of trying to understand because they're very different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You have a friendly rivalry with Connor, and we're always trying to one-up each other. Well, it fits with like the pranks. I feel like we prank the other demigods.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You'll have a running tally going of who's got the most.
Yeah, I think that fits. I'm just giving you a hard time.
And then counts as one.
And then I love this, especially after Gwen's tangle with Nellie. And I asked Morgan this in a private chat, but Nellie and I had a fling after a harrowing battle once.
Okay.
I'm so jealous.
Does everyone know about it? Ooh, that's
I don't know.
juicy.
Maybe not.
I
I
know.
love this stuff.
Gwen knows.
We don't tell people, but
I don't
they know.
necessarily
Yeah.
know, but I know.
Yeah, like you don't want
I
to
like that.
know.
I think you
Right.
saw the walk of shame, and then like you put 2 and 5 together, and you're like,
Walk of shame.
We're probably just talking late.
Right.
Yeah.
Just braiding each
love
other's
that.
hair. Sure.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yep. And that was all of mine.
And
I didn't do one with blue.
Okay, that's fine. Totally
Did I?
optional. No, you don't have to.
Okay, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one that jumps out at you, go for it. It's really fun when recently I ran a game where they chose a place. I don't remember exactly what the place was, but several people picked tangles with the place of like
Oh.
Oh.
they've never shown your true feelings for the coffee shop. Like it was like kind of interesting twist on that, which I really enjoyed. Okay, so that is all of the prep. We have broken the land speed record for character creation. 66 minutes is the new record. So congratulations, crew.
oh yeah, it did take us an hour.
Yeah. Well, the previous record is 90 minutes. So that is an outstanding sprint.
Good job, team.
And yeah, that's great. So our characters, I think it makes the most sense to jump in media res. Does that sound okay with everyone?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we find the 5 of you. Blue is not in the scene so far, but the 5 of you are in a speedboat because I think that's the most likely,
Yeah.
and it's not like a tiny little speedboat, right? This is like a big expensive speedboat that is probably Connor's the one with the wealth gift, right? I bet you Connor's got a lot of just like he's like, oh yeah, I think I do own a boat, like that kind of.
Let me double check.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 3 boats actually. Yeah. So I'm trying to be modest. So the speedboat racing across, I think the sun is almost setting, so you're kind of like racing into the sun. And I'm just gonna go around and ask you some questions. I'm gonna assume Lita's driving. Is that accurate?
Is that okay, Connor?
That's fine with me. I've got plenty of them, so you can do whatever you want.
Awesome.
All right. So, Lita, your question is, what are you chasing, and are you catching up?
I'm chasing a thrill.
Yeah.
May I be doing that? No, does it need to be an actual person we're chasing?
It could be a person, a monster. It could be a thrill. I don't know. I'll work with that. It could be the clock because you're trying to get somewhere. It's totally open.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea that we're trying to get somewhere. I don't know where, so guess I'm going really fast.
Okay.
We're late for something.
Oh, we're late. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I think this is that boat is like going so fast, it's like barely even hitting the waves.
Yep.
You know, it's just like just sailing. Big old fantail of water coming out the back. Okay, so we're chasing something. So Dr. Sanchez, professor of math.
Mathematics, professor of mathematics.
We're late. How much time do we have left?
32 minutes and 18 seconds.
Oh, no.
17.
32 minutes and now 17 in the time it took to answer the question. Dr. Sanchez, why are we this late?
There is a procedure in which Connor follows in order to get the hair to look the right way, especially when considering we will be outside in the wind and the ocean breeze. And this procedure took exactly 48 minutes longer than we had planned.
Connor, does that work for you?
I mean, I thought we were role playing, but I guess we're not.
Yeah, Chris, that's a pretty rude call out to Doug. You could have just like private messaged him about that.
No, we take off the gloves on this show.
This is typical for my show, by the way, Jason. I mean, pretty much. Yeah.
Everyone picks on you?
Well, pretty much.
Oh, no.
Right. Let's go to Connor then. So Connor, you took a long time to get ready. What were you actually preparing while everyone thought you were doing your hair?
What was I actually preparing? I was preparing. Let me think. What could I be preparing?
Or you could have been like checking on something, reading up about something.
I was checking on. I was actually checking on my dad. Like that.
Okay.
That was that. You know, trying to because it's David Blaine and he's up to all sorts of stuff. So even though I don't really want to associate with him, I still I kind of keep tabs on him.
Okay, so could this at all be related to the fact that he was going to have himself tied to a pylon under an oil rig off the coast?
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, I was just kind of checking out his latest, escapade.
Okay.
Or stun.
All right, great. Oh, hey, puppy. Sorry, my dog just surprised me into the chair. I was like, oh my God. No, it's fine. Okay. That's good. Late. So Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen, what was you had a romantic entanglement, I think? What was?
Yeah, I have a deep and abiding crush on Nellie.
That's right.
I cannot ever follow through on because of reasons.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so Gwen, in knowing that you were going to have to race out on this boat and that a taser may not be the best choice for being in the water. I mean, you have your taser, certainly, but you're also, you could probably have, oh, no, actually, it's an epic weapon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, never mind. You're not going to shock yourself with an epic weapon.
No, it's magic. It's fine.
Yeah, it's magic. Yeah. I was getting it confused with Lita's polyarmory. So that's fine. Okay, great. So Gwen, what is it, since you have the Celestial's eyes, what is it you could see in the distance that makes you think David Blaine might still have a few minutes? And just to set the scene that has sort of formed up a little bit, we're racing across the waves now towards an oil rig,
Right.
which probably is surrounded by some, camera helicopters and other, crew boats and things like that for whatever the stunt is that Blaine's trying to pull off.
Okay, but I think that we still have some time.
Yes, and
Right.
something about what you can see says, okay, well, it's not, whatever it is that you thought was going to happen hasn't happened yet.
Right. So it's not something that I can really physically see so much as an absence of when I know something bad is about to happen. It's kind of almost like I can see like a static electricity kind of crackle around an area where something bad is brewing, and I'm not seeing any of that yet. So the air is still clear of trouble.
Okay, I like that. That's cool. And then I think that leaves Nellie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, hold on. So Nellie, man, I wish I had everyone's tangles in front of me. Those are fun. Nellie, you didn't have a romantic tangle, right?
Not coming from me, however, I have someone crushing on me, and then I had a fling with somebody else.
Yeah, two different ones.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. That's good too. All right. So Nellie, on the way out there, several dolphins have they're not able to like keep up with the boat at this speed, but they have like kind of come in and like let you know some information and then dove back under the waters. What did they need to tell you so urgently that they would come near a speeding boat like that?
Oh, geez. I think they said there's a weird human in the water over there, and they don't know what it's doing, but it's kind of unsafe. And let me go check it out.
Getting bad vibes from these dudes underwater.
I'm sorry. I'm just really Doug's nose. Doug!
All right, good. We have comedy in the side chat. So as we're approaching, all these like crew boats and the helicopters overhead, they are of course accompanied by a couple of police boats. So getting too much closer may end up getting their attention, depending on what we do about that. But you also notice, so setup, this is apparently a decommissioned oil rig. It is an ex-oil rig. But the platform is still here. And on the platform is one helicopter has landed, and it's like deployed all of the like craft services, like food and drinks and all that stuff that people can come to the platform and eat. And the not brand, like the company, this particular craft services brand is the one that Blue moonlights with sometimes when she needs extra work. So what is the name of that craft services company? Not that it matters, it's just entertaining to me.
Drawing a blank on this one.
Okay.
What is craft services again?
Oh, they provide all the food and drink
okay. So like catering.
For the actors and crew. Yeah, it's like catering. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, all of our Hollywood insider terms.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I was like, "What's that? I don't know what that is."
Green room. Yeah, let's call it the green room craft
Catering.
services.
Green room. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, now my last question is, what do you do?
Well, we're here to observe the stunt.
Well, something might not go right with this stunt. It looks like it's fine now, but I don't know. Seems like a setup for something bad to happen. I mean, Connor, you wanted us to come out here, right?
I didn't want to come out here. You guys dragged me out here.
Well, okay.
It's your boat.
Yeah, it's your boat.
Well, I guess. I mean, isn't this the only way we can get there? I'm the only one with a boat, right?
Okay, that's fair. You are the only one with a boat.
I was expecting Connor to say something like, does anybody really own anything, man?
All right, I can, yeah.
How close will they let us get in this boat? I can't imagine they'd want us to get too close to whatever stunt is going on here.
Oh, I'm gonna get us wherever we need to go.
Okay.
How close do you want to go?
I will say you're at about a quarter mile out. You can certainly see all of this stuff, right? That's not very far away. And you can already see some of the police on the police boats are just like standing up to look at this, loud speedboat coming in. They're not doing anything. They're just like now what are we going to have to do about this? And, you know, one of the police boats is flashing that if any of you knew what it meant, is flashing the like veer off, you know, light signal. I doubt any of you are professional mariners, but
now my tweed jacket doesn't work very well with all this ocean spray. You know, I'm gonna conjure a book on KTLA's procedures for getting into events as a reporter.
Oh, okay.
I like it.
And start flipping through. And
I like that. Let's do since you're kind of pressed for time, let's roll perform under pressure. Let's roll plus your metal. And for anyone listening, and it's a PBTA system, which means we're going to roll 2 6-sided dice with certain exceptions. But
okay, I got a 4.
Well, okay. So in PBTA, a 10 or higher is sort of an unqualified success. Everything.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, a 7 to 9 is sort of a crappy success, if you will. Like you basically accomplish what you set out to do.
I didn't get that either.
Yeah, you may have noticed, math professor, that 4 is less than 7. And it's a result referred to as a 6-. I personally don't like calling it a miss. A lot of PBTA games do. But I think of 6- as like something else happens.
An opportunity.
Yes. So you find, Dr. Sanchez, there is a procedure that you should, now, unfortunately, Dr. Sanchez doesn't realize that you're actually reading the like Warzone correspondent thing, and your reference is telling you that you should immediately make yourself known to the people in charge. You should approach whatever authority figure is here with your press credentials and like don't sort of mess around because it's very dangerous not to do that. So the reference, at least that you're looking at, I don't know whether your character believes that, but the reference that you found with the idea that your spell should bring up relevant information is go immediately to the person in charge and present your credentials.
Okay, take the boat to the LAPD barge over there. I've got this handled.
Got it.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody wants the professor to be the face, but that's what's going to happen unless somebody intervenes.
I'm okay. I'm here for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have any high awe characters?
No.
I've got +2.
Oh, okay. That's good. Oh, yeah. Also, did everyone note that you get to put a +1 into one of your attributes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Don't want to miss out on that. Okay. So, good. The person who definitely shouldn't be explaining this to the cops is going to be explaining it. And the person who probably should be explaining is annoyed to be here.
I'm adjusting my tweed coat. You know,
yeah.
I'm perfecting my look.
Okay. So you veer off. The police on the boats are immediately more active, sort of swarming around, moving around. And one of the smaller police boats veers off to come in your direction.
All right, I'm going to pull out something from my pocket, which is actually my book.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, it's obviously like I'm going for something really dramatically.
It wouldn't have been taken for a weapon, would it?
No, of course not.
Oh,
but I'm trying to be very deliberate, just like, you know, the protocol said.
Uh-huh. To present your credentials.
Right, to present my credentials. So I'm like,
right.
You know, doing the thing, but it could be construed poorly.
Okay. And did you want to cast a spell to invent some credentials? Is that
yes? Yes, okay. I'm going to have to communicate impossibly.
Yeah.
Which is one of the effects of my spell casting.
Yeah. Now, before you roll, what if you were able to get 2 effects? What would you want them to be?
Communicate impossibly, and also, does it have to be from this list? Hide something.
Oh, to hide.
I would
something.
like to hide that we are absolutely not the press.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it could be casual day, I guess. Okay, well let's roll for your spell casting.
Okay. Okay, so that is 10.
Oh, okay, that's much better. On a 10 plus, do you still have a cost with spellcasting?
There is pick 2 effects and 1 cost.
Yeah.
So the 2 effects I've already said. I think for the cost, it'll be takes longer than usual. I think there's going to be a lot of awkward silences.
Yeah.
As I'm trying to explain. Actually, and it's even less than that. I'm lecturing like I'm in a hall, and I'm saying,
yes.
According to subparagraph 5, clause 3 of the such and such handbook I have here, we have to present our credentials immediately to whoever's in charge, sergeant, lieutenant, or whoever is the commanding officer on this part at the moment. And it's going to go on and on and on until I finally get to the point.
Okay. So all of you have seen Doc, cast a spell before. You know what's happening. He's, trying to create an effect, and it looks like it's working. It's just sort of dragging on. Lita, I assume you've sort of pulled the boat up so that there's this alongside, and yeah. This spell is going to take a minute or so to really dig in and work. What's everyone else doing in the meantime? It's a big yawn from Amanda.
Sorry,
I thought that was a character.
No, I'm an old lady who doesn't typically stay up at all.
I also don't stay up very late. Fortunately, I live on the West Coast, so it's not late.
Same.
It's not actually late on the East Coast. I'm just an old lady who.
I would be in bed by 10:30. So I get it.
Yeah, although Gwen is probably just gonna try to. She's gonna awkwardly try to act casual. She's doing the whole
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're press. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's great. How about Nellie?
Nellie's not paying attention at all. She's kind of just her back's toward the cops, and she's sort of leaned over the rails, trying to talk to the dolphins. And
they've come back now that you slowed down. They're like, oh yeah, human, we could talk to. This is cool. They apparently are starved for conversation.
And she's having a full-on conversation with them because she talks better with animals than she does with people.
Yeah. Okay. I assume she's just speaking words to the water.
She's like, oh, hey, how are y'all doing today? Okay. Oh, that's great.
Not chittering, making high, whistles. Yeah. Okay.
And she's actually leaning over the rail. She could probably fall over if she got bumped or something.
Sure. Okay. I can't imagine how that would happen. Connor, what are you doing while Dr. Sanchez is over there telling these cops that you're reporters?
I'm sitting in one of the seats in my swimsuit, and I'm looking at the camera that I usually use, and I'm trying to just kind of looking at it, just not really even paying any attention, just all about me.
Reporter just in trunks, I assume.
Just in swim trunks. I got the oil, the suntan oil on my chest.
This is great. I love it.
Do you have the chain, the gold chain?
Absolutely.
Okay, that adds up. All right. So before too long, this group of police, they sort of acknowledge that you're with the press. They explain that there are some restrictions. Don't go over here. Don't go to craft services. You can go to craft services. You can't enter the water at all is one of their specific instructions, but you can, go around, take pictures and do whatever else you need to do on set. And they radio in to let everyone know that the KTLA press is here.
Officer, KTLA is the #1 network in the Los Angeles area. We have millions of viewers. And are you telling me that we can't take a submersible camera under the water to get footage for all of our viewers, for all of the citizens of Los Angeles looking for a story to warm their hearts this evening? You're telling me I can't do
that? Correct. Yeah, it would be unsafe for us to allow you to do that.
To yourself.
If you want to stick your head in the water with a camera, that's fine, but don't get in the water. All right, so what are y'all doing?
I think as soon as that gets said, like the boat rocks a little bit and Nellie just tumbles out by accident.
I was gonna say Lita was debating on
on pushing her.
No, not pushing you, on like revving the engine a little bit so that you would fall, but I would never really do that to you.
Nellie, you're not permitted to do that.
What? Oh, sorry.
Well, let's see. So Nellie, you have the opportunity to sort of get away with this, right? Yeah. Or change, because the police are having a like in-depth conversation, and now they're sort of annoyed with Dr. Sanchez because he's like asked for something that's definitely against the rules. So
can I turn into a dolphin?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm here
So
for
this. I think that's probably, so the idea is to look at that move and isn't it neat? Sorry, let's burst out of my mouth. No, it's still going. The rest of that song is just adapting to be about PDA moves. Okay. Focused.
What do they call them? Fins.
Oh no. You think this move has everything?
It's a musical.
That's what's happening.
All right. So what you want to do is look at the list of stuff that you could pick.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-pick what you would like to have, and then we'll roll to see what you can actually manage. Oh, and I think it says something about there, like you don't always have to roll, right?
Well,
that's a really long one.
To be unremarkable, harmless creature or plant, no roll is needed.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean...
looking at you, Ficus.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you don't want any of the, like, bonus to fighting or being able to swim super deep, right? Like,
yeah.
Like like a whale or something, then yeah, actually I don't think you need to roll to just be an average dolphin.
Yeah, dolphins swim pretty fast and they go pretty deep as it is, so I don't need extra stuff.
Okay. This also has the benefit of, like, these mortal police officers do not want to see you turn into a dolphin. That's like, nope. There's just no thank you. I don't want to see that. So you don't even have to worry about somebody seeing you do it, because they'll just edit you out of the boat. Like, nope, that didn't happen.
I think as I fell out, I was like, oh shit, I'm going in. And I just turned into a dolphin, like realizing this is my fate.
Yeah.
I'm a dolphin now.
I'm a dolphin now.
Can't get my clothes wet. Gotta really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there she goes.
What are Nellie, what are your gifts again?
Divine senses, tree walking, and vital aura.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Tree walking. If you feel like swapping tree walking out for something else, I wouldn't blame you. I didn't realize I didn't give you any trees. So
kelp.
What's adaptable?
Adaptable is like a miniature version of shape changer. Like you could give yourself gills, or you could make yourself better for cold or heat, or that sort of thing.
All right. I guess I can go with give myself divine constitution, because I don't want to step on the toes of animal companions.
Okay.
Going, I am the animal companion.
I love it.
I'm going to start writing down animal companion. Oh, geez. Okay.
Okay. So you dive into the water. You're kind of near the surface, and the other dolphins are like, "That was rad. How did you do that? Can you turn us into people? Like, we just want fish and chips."
You don't want to be first, and believe me.
Yeah, but the fish and chips are always wet when we get it, and like.
Oh, no. I'll bring you dry fish and chips.
Oh, okay. So the dolphins, it turns out, are like pretty smart to have a conversation with, but they're like on par with having a conversation with a 5-year-old, right? Like they're real excited about whatever the current topic is. And these 3 have completely forgotten that there's a man tied up on the pylon down below. They're just more excited that they just saw you turn into a dolphin. So
I'm just like, I'm just gonna start swimming around. I'm like, hey, were you telling me there's a man in danger?
what? That's like, oh yes, that guy. So I need to check in and see what everyone else is doing on the boat. So the police have sort of explained what you can do, and that boat is going back to the rest of the police contingent. And now everybody has identified your boat as like a press boat, which was a big stretch for some people on the oil rig. Like, that boat is with the press? Okay, it's a pretty nice boat. And your friend has slipped into the water. You're sort of into your own devices here. So what happens next?
Gwen, you were saying that you thought something bad was going to happen. Should we be looking for something?
Well, no, I don't know. It just seems like a strange setup. Like, I don't see anything bad yet. I'm just kind of nervous. But I mean, Nellie's under the water. She should be finding out if anything bad is under there. I mean, I'll keep an eye out. But I don't know if there's anywhere that you were trying to get to. Connor, what did you want to see while you were here?
I just want to take some stock footage with my camera.
Okay. Lita.
I mean, I know my dad's here and all, but
Yeah, did you want to go say hi to your dad?
not really.
No. I mean, I get that. I understand. But if you didn't want to say hi to your dad, then why did we drive a boat directly up to where he is?
I don't know. Maybe because you
Why
guys
did we
wanted
drive your boat directly up to where he is? No, that's okay. You don't have to talk about it. It's all right.
No,
Lita,
this isn't good behavior. I've done research on this, and no, you should not just shut down when you are feeling an emotion. You should discuss it.
Doc, I don't think that's helping.
And I'm gonna take my camera and I'm just gonna take a picture of Doc, like, and make the flash go off, like right in his.
Oh no.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Lita, you're the one driving the boat, so I guess wherever you think looks interesting, you can just keep looking around.
If it helps, or if anyone feels like they're sort of looking around for, trying to figure out what to do next, the read the weave move might help kind of point you in a direction. I apologize. It sounds like somebody's like yelling outside my house. I don't know if that's coming through. Hopefully. No. Okay, great. I don't know what's going on out there.
It's David Blaine.
Yeah, he's angry.
It's all it's the David Blaine fans.
Yeah.
Getting hype for his big stunt. I will read the weave because I'm certain that something's going to happen here, but I don't know what.
Yeah. It seems like you're kind of watching for it. So
right.
Let's try that.
All right. Hold on. I'm looking it up as things that could happen. Okay. All right. Let's see. I got a total of 10.
Ooh, that's nice. So you get 3 questions from the read the weave list. It doesn't all have to be from like read a place. Like you can kind of pick from different lists if something makes sense. You can even pick like read a person if it applies to I don't know, the ocean or something. So don't feel too like locked into the categories, but those questions are the source.
Okay. We'll go with, first of all, what is the greatest danger in this place?
So the greatest danger is probably the very thin, like to be otherwise unnoticeable kind of sheen on the water. And you realize that you didn't notice it because you're racing in so fast. But now, as the sun is setting and the light hits, and you're actually like, you have time to sort of look around, you realize there's kind of an iridescent sheen on the water that seems supernatural in nature, because if it wasn't supernatural, the mortals might be like, hey, what's that in the water? Or why does the water look like that?
Right.
So it definitely has a magical feel to it.
Okay. So for the kind of going off of one of the person ones, because this is focused on the elder Mr. Blaine, how could we get this person to delay what they're doing? How could we get Mr. Blaine to delay his stunt?
Well, maybe we want to alter that because he's underwater already.
Oh, he's in the water already. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Curses. How could we get him out of the water?
They would pull him out if there was a clear indication of an emergency. You know, like if something with his vitals went off, or if there was like, well, actually, a shark probably isn't an issue here. If they saw a shark, they're just gonna be like, whatever. He's in a glass box of emotion. So he's like a shark probably wouldn't be an issue. But if they're certainly monitoring his vitals, and so if his vitals spiked, if there was just any sort of like, I mean, if there was violence of some kind, you know, the crew would pull him out because they're like, oh no, this isn't under control. So those are some things that can happen.
Okay, and for another place one, what happened in this place recently?
What happened in this place recently is that a deity, so gods can be killed. I think this is something that all of you demigods would know, but they come back because people still believe in them, right? So like gods kill each other all the time. It's like they have disagreements. There's like the epic story of Marduk and Tiamat, where they're like constantly hunting each other. As of what happened here recently, there is not a god itself, but there's like an avatar of a god, sort of like the embodiment of this, and whatever is left on the water here is kind of trying to pull itself back together.
Okay.
So it's either like it's probably not a deity itself, because that like it wouldn't just hang out on the mortal plane,
right?
But some aspect of a destroyed deity is gathering its strength again.
Gotcha.
In approximately, Dr. Sanchez, how much time is left?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. 12 minutes and 39 seconds.
That took a long time. Okay, 12 minutes and 39 seconds.
38.
Yeah, 38 seconds. 37.
All right, well, I'll relay the things that I've been able to discern to the rest of my party that is still in the boat, since I can't talk to the one who's a dolphin right now.
Yeah, are we all still in the boat?
I think so, unless anyone else got out.
Okay.
Other than Nellie.
I didn't know if the doctor got out while explaining. No, okay.
That look.
So there's something, there's some sort of something here, and it's trying to get itself back together, but it's going to cause some kind of danger to Mr. Blaine. And I don't know. There's the only way that we can stop this stunt and possibly get him out of danger is if we make it seem like there's other danger. Does that make sense?
Categorically, no.
Oh, okay.
So Nellie, I'm going to use one of my Herald moves. The Herald's the sort of GM in Demigods.
Okay.
And that's to ask you to roll Read the Weave. And if I ask you to do it, I'm going to use up one of your questions by feeding you some information. But then you'll still have an extra question if you roll successfully. So.
All right.
6 minus would result in bad news. So just any 2 6-sided dice.
No, I mean, like, what's my thing I add?
Oh, that is judgment.
Judgment. Okay. Cool. Oh, okay. That's a 10.
Oh, nice. Okay. So the bit of information I'm giving you is that with your heritage with Ixchel, you know that this is one of those nights where the sun is going to set right when the moon rises, right? They're like directly opposite each other tonight, or at least for where you are, which obviously curvature of the earth, unimportant details. But for where you are, the sun is going to set as the moon rises. The moon is full tonight. These are just things I think your character inherently knows, right? Because your mom sort of is the moon, or depending on how you want to, how she manifests. And you also know that that's a very powerful time to do magic, like either banishment or resurrection, or a sacrifice, which is also something Ixchel would be familiar with. And it's pretty suddenly it's like the end of Usual Suspects, which I don't want to ruin for anyone, but like suddenly the coffee cup is falling and all these things click into place. You're like, oh, this is a sacrificial altar. As you're swimming around and the dolphins are like, oh yeah, the dude, did you want to see him? He's in a glass box. And suddenly all these pieces click into place, and it's not like a Mayan ritual or anything. It's just you guys. A sacrifice is a sacrifice, and it looks like that's what's happening here.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, because I can still talk, right? And to people's, or in my talking form.
I don't know.
Game. I thought you knew.
You tell me.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
So I'm gonna swim to the surface. I'm like, hey.
What?
Who's up
there?
there?
What is it, Nelly? What is it, Dolphin Nelly?
Dolphin Nelly.
Also, you could change back and forth with simple forms like this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, she's gonna change back into human and just tread water, just staying there. And so I think this is a sacrificial altar.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who's being sacrificed?
Well,
Why would you think that?
I look at Connor.
And
I
Gwen,
don't see any altars.
when Nellie mentions that, I think Artemis is also a moon goddess too.
she
right?
is. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all these, that same thing I was describing, like you're now seeing like the celestial version of like, oh yeah, there's also a bunch of stars in alignment.
Oh.
Yep, this is the night to bring someone back from the dead if you wanted to do that.
Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's that. So I'm gonna go check on him and see how he's doing. All right, bye. And she's gonna turn into a dolphin and just dive back in.
We gotta get him out of there.
Wait, hold. Can we please slow down? What are you
Ellie?
talking about?
Doctor,
Connor, we gotta get your dad out of there.
What are you talking about? There's a sacrifice. I don't see an altar.
Okay, yeah, but an altar doesn't always look like an altar. It doesn't always look like just like a slab of stone or wood. Sometimes it's just a more general, like larger place. It doesn't have to be what you're thinking of. So I guess
No. These things have formula. There is mathematics behind magic. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to sacrifice somebody in the ocean." Things have to be aligned. There has to be.
They are.
cosmological
Look.
patterns.
Okay.
So I'm going to explain to you how magic works.
As he gets into this mode,
I'm just gonna
releases her blowhole at him and just sprays him with water and goes back.
I'll also jump in and remind everyone to double check whether you have done something to gain a thread, because you.
I was doing that to gain a thread. Did I get one?
Yep. Yeah.
I talked to animals and I turned into an animal.
Yeah, you did. Nellie, also don't forget you rolled a 10 on Read the Weave. I used up one of your questions, but you still have 2 banked, which you can just sort of use when it occurs to you, or if you know what you want to ask now, you can. But you those bank for the scene. So
let's see here. I need see what the questions are.
Oh, and I know Kristen wanted to jump in with something. It looked like you wanted to.
Because I raised my hand.
Yeah.
You wanted to stop the mansplaining, I think.
Oh.
No.
Make it stop.
No, I was going to say while they were arguing, and then Morgan, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to overstep your questions.
No, go ahead. I'm reading.
I was going to say while they were arguing, I was going to tell Connor that we need to get his dad out. And then if Connor doesn't react right away, then Lita's going to get off the boat and punch somebody. Because Gwen had said there needs to be some sort of danger to get them to bring him up. And if they feel that there's a threat, then maybe they'll stop the stunt.
Okay, so we're taking the boat kind of over by the oil rig so that you can go up on the platform?
Yeah.
That what you wanted to do? Yeah, okay. So Connor, how do you react to this?
Yeah, I'll react pretty. Yeah, I'll be really upset by this, and I will. Pretty much, we need to do something in order to. I'm trying to think of what I can do to, like, change my appearance so that we can get closer.
Is there someone in charge? There must be someone in charge of whatever is keeping him under the water.
Like a
needs to pull him up. Yeah, or that can pull him up. And if you're that person's boss, then you can go and impersonate that person's boss, and then I don't have to punch anybody.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do is I'll change into the stunt coordinator, and I'll tell the police that hey, we need to get closer. There's something going on with the stunt, and we need to address the situation immediately.
So it sounds like maybe Lita and Connor are going to go up to the platform. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Gwen and Nellie are figuring out the water situation. Doc, were you going up to the platform, or were you with Nellie and Gwen?
I think I'm with them because I'm trying to figure out why they're being irrational.
Right. We're still arguing about what a sacrificial altar is.
Okay. I love that scene.
I was trying to explain to them that they have to have cosmological alignment.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to. I'm literally trying to show him the cosmological alignment, and he's not listening.
I'm not listening.
I'm like, there is the moon.
I'm drawing sketches.
There is the sun.
You have to have
no, look.
alignment.
Look up. You have to look up at the sky right now.
Need to be.
Oh my word! That's where they are. Hold on. I have a star chart app. I will show you, even though it's daytime. I'll show you where they are.
I think I pay attention to the star chart app. I think because if it's in an app, yeah.
Oh boy! All right.
We're not just making things up then. Okay.
No, we're not.
Okay, so Lita and Connor, you what are the tangles you two have with each other?
Yes, just as I said, it needs to be like that.
I have a friendly rivalry with him, and we try to one up each other.
Okay. And Connor?
Yeah. Me and Lita, we pulled a hellish prank at one point.
Ooh. Any idea what that prank was at this point?
Trying to think.
Or was it just an Instagram stunt?
It was back in the Vine days. No, TikTok. It was TikTok.
TikTok.
I have a suggestion for something y'all did.
What's that?
Yeah.
Y'all made sort of like it was a big prank, right? Was it just on us, or it was on the world?
It was not necessarily world scale, but it was a big deal.
Big prank.
Maybe you kind of said you spotted a different cryptozoology creature, and made this hoax of a crypto creature,
Oh,
okay. I like it.
Invented your own cryptid. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, cool.
I'm a fan.
And Connor apparently took a photo of a blurry photo of Nellie as she was halfway transforming. So,
Nice.
Anyone would just assume that was special effects and Photoshop. And
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, just wanted to have that in the background as we're going up to the platform. So Connor, to take the form of someone specific, I think let's do, what does it say on your shape changer move?
It just says,
oh, actually I have it here too.
It's like the outfit of the day. You're always dressed to you're always wait a minute, it's the hashtag outfit of the day.
That's important. Yeah,
that's important, and it kind of ties in with the Instagram thing. You're always dressed and styled the way you want to be. If you mean it, you be. It just says.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think the mimic lets you copy a specific person and their outfit.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no role associated with that. So you like caught. The two of you went up. You're like, oh, that's the producer. Okay, and then the producer is like going over is like on the other side of the platform at craft services. You set up for him to be somewhere else, and you change your form.
Do I do the whole like?
You tell me.
I'm sure.
Or I just kind of like just put my hands over it and like all of a sudden like I'm totally somebody else.
Yeah, and wearing clothes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a suit.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so the safety crew is over with a covered, even though like the sun's going down at this point, they have like screens in a little box thing so they can see it when it's bright out, and they're watching all the vitals and everything. And if you want to go over and talk to them, you can.
Okay, yeah, I think we shall. And I'm gonna tell them that that the monitors that are they're malfunctioning, even though they're not reading correctly, and we should call an end to the stunt immediately.
Okay.
I'm concerned about David's well-being.
Okay, so there's one gal who's sitting at the controls with the monitor, and she looks back at you like, oh no, what? Like, she hears you basically describing an emergency and is like, and is starting to, act on that. But the woman standing behind her, who is, she's like tallish, 5'9", business suit, looks like probably also on the producer level of things. She says, she puts her hand on the other woman's shoulder and says, no, don't do that. And then turns and looks at you, and her eyes are just solid black, swirling something. It's somewhat reflective of like the light is shining off of her, this like black liquid of her eyes. And she just hisses a black mist in your face. Now you took the magical resistance, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to have you roll perform under pressure, but with fate's favor. So you're going to roll 3 dice and take the better 2.
Okay. And so what fate's favor is?
That's just you're rolling 3 dice instead of 3.
Okay, oh, yeah.
And then you take the best 2 out of the 3.
Okay, so I've got an 11.
Okay, nice. The mist washes over you, and you actually like hold your breath in time and kind of waft this out of the way. Lita, you get kind of the edge of this, and it's pretty clear that when this woman turned around, she sees both of you, but she probably doesn't realize Lita doesn't have any like obvious supernatural features, right?
It's what's funny about that is that I had written down that I have red eyes, but when I'm upset or angry, they turn black.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
Yeah.
So I don't think she clocked that right away. So she knows this like magical presence of Connor and hasn't clocked Lita yet. So
cool.
You get a little bit of this waft. You're also going to roll with fate's favor just because you didn't get very much of it. Okay. But you definitely have... Connor, a mind control substance when a mind altering substance when you come across it. And she was definitely trying to control you.
Yeah, I've definitely, I know the mind altering subject quite well, actually.
Lita, what'd you get?
7.
Okay.
So I don't have any pluses to this, right? It's just straight roll?
No, it's 4 metal. You would add metal to it.
Oh, plus 0. Okay. Straight roll. 7.
Okay. So also keep an eye out for doubles, everybody.
I have double. I rolled. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. That was a different dice because I rolled 3, right, and took the higher of the 2.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
Well, if the 2 higher ones are doubles, that you get to do that.
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay. I guess with a 7, it's not going to be
doubles. Yeah.
Math. All right. So the gas kind of wafts, it's not even really a gas. It's like this oily mist, right? More than a gas. It's like she just vaped in your face, right?
Awesome.
That's probably a more accurate.
Yeah.
But instead of the white vape, it's literally like pitch black.
Okay.
And Connor, like it just sort of like rolls around him and ignores him, like supernaturally, kind of ignores Connor. However, you are going to have a little bit of difficulty going forward, not doing what she says. You're not totally under her control, right? You're mostly under your own control, but she's telling you like, no, you need to leave. And your first instinct is like, well, guess we have to leave. But you can fight that for now, right? That's just kind of that impulse that you're wrestling with.
Okay. Yeah, I think Lita turns around to leave and takes a couple steps and then turns back around. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm going to spotlight back to the speedboat. What's going on down there?
I've acknowledged that maybe they're right because I saw it on an app.
Doctor, how long did this explanation take for you to accept?
Maybe I'll be helpful now. Oh, well, we've been arguing now for several rounds.
So I'm going to say we're down to 9 minutes and 12 seconds.
Okay.
I think while they're arguing, like I spray him and then I went down to actually like look to see if I can like, not get too far, but like at least see if I can get at least some visuals on what's going on.
So you head down there. It's pretty easy. You're as a dolphin, right?
Yeah.
So you can see the like shimmery, like almost frosted glass, but it's not frosted because you can see through it. It's just the glass looks white, in under the water.
Yeah.
It's probably just because it's lit, right? It's all lit up. There are 2 divers with cameras who are kind of moving around, and they're carefully staying out of each other's shots. So they're very focused on having Blaine. There's also a couple of like submersible drones that are drifting around, like trying to get good shots. And you see the David Blaine in this box, like kind of like looking at his watch, waiting for the cue to do whatever it is he's going to do down here.
Yeah.
He's just in this case that is attached to the very bottom of this pylon holding up the oil rig, right? So it's almost on the seabed at this point, which is not super deep for how the California coast works, but it's very deep. Like a person would be pretty uncomfortable down here, like a human.
Yeah. So one thing, I'm actually going to swim in front of all the camera shots.
Just start interrupting the camera shots.
Just make one pass in front of all of them, and then start making my way back to the boat.
Okay.
I am that dolphin.
Okay. You can hear them talking in it. They have like that full face mask so they can speak into their headsets, and you hear these like really annoyed cameramen. They're both dudes down there, and they're like, okay, this dolphin's like, what is this dolphin doing? And then you just hear this like back and forth. You can't hear what they're hearing, but they're saying things like, yeah, okay, we're holding, but we're on a clock here. And you just hear stuff like that. So you make a pass. They're agitated, but they seem like annoyed humans, not like something really weird happening.
Man, I just wanted to be in our shot, and that's about it.
Yeah, you are on camera. I think Lita and Nelly, Lita and Connor in the monitor that you're watching, like you see the dolphin go by, you're like, all right, there's Nelly.
Yeah, they actually can tell it's Nelly because like on the tattoo on the dolphin skin, it looks like there is like a marking or a pattern of like
Air Force One.
No, damn it!
What?
The Nelly reference.
Oh. No.
Wow.
No.
Oh man.
No.
He did though. He did.
You should do them all night in the chat. Okay. Anyways, she's gonna actually. She has a. I'm just trying to think of like what kind of. She has like a triple moon symbol like tattoo on like the small of her back. So so on the small of the back, like behind the dorsal fin is like a little like marking of like it looks like a triple moon symbol. So like
those
those
markings show up on all your animal forms.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I like
it's
that.
like either in the dots of like a Dalmatian or like
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Or like your feather coloring I love it.
It's just the way that they can tell it's her.
Okay.
She's so
Lita
cute,
waves.
I can't stand it.
So I think back on the boat, I'm going to sit back and call the iced tea over. And I just kind of say, okay, Lita, go ahead and take the boat in as quickly as you can. Completely oblivious to the fact that she's not there.
Oh, okay, great. In character oblivious.
Yeah.
Doc, she left, and we're just standing here on this boat. We should.
Well, do you know how to drive this thing? I've never driven one of these.
No. Why would I know how to drive a boat? I don't know how to drive a boat.
Which one is the accelerator? And I'm going to try to.
No.
So, Dr. Sanchez, have you piloted a speedboat before?
No, I've never even been in a speedboat.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to roll metal. I'm not really going to. Now, I'm going to say ahead of time, a 6- is not going to have a hard move on it, right? But I do need to see how well this goes. So,
Poor Gwen.
Unless Gwen wants to interfere.
Or 8.
I want to see what happens.
Okay, let him reach for the controls.
Okay, that is a 7.
Okay, you managed to push the throttle forward without.
That's a double roll. I get a.
Oh, nice. Okay,
I got 2 force.
Nice. You push the throttle forward without you like push it too far, and then you're like, oh right, okay, pull that back a little bit, and you get up to the little the platform's quite a bit above the water, so you get up to the part where you can go up the ladder to the platform, and you just thunk the pylon a little bit, and actually, Nelly, under the water, you hear this like the sort of like impact up above.
I just like look up at it as I'm swimming, like, what?
Really? A bunch of barnacles scrape off the pylon, and
I avoid them like going through the asteroid belt.
And I am just noting here that the speedboat has had a minor impact. I'm sure it's not going to be an issue at all. But okay, so
I'm just gonna like put my hand on the accelerator and just be like, okay, we can get up on the platform now. We don't need to play with the boat anymore. I think everybody else is, other than Nelly, is already up there. So what were you trying to do?
Get to the platform.
Okay, we've succeeded.
You're not going to hold this over me my whole life, are you? Treat me like a child because you know what I did.
No. I just, you admitted you don't know how to drive the boat.
Correct. But I had calculated the odds.
Okay. You're good at that stuff, and clearly it worked out because here we are. But I would be more comfortable if we got off the boat now, since neither of us knows what we're doing here. All right. Yeah. So going up the ladder. Gonna try to catch up with the rest of our party.
I'll follow along. Disgruntled.
okay. Nelly, just a quick check-in. Did you want to use any of your Read the Weave questions?
Oh yes, I was gonna ask. Oh shoot, where are they? Oh, here they are. Who made this? Well, it says who made this artifact, but I was gonna say who made this altar.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. How specific can I get? I think I will answer this in. This altar belongs to the science Pantheon.
Okay.
But the altar itself was not made by a god. It was like you that would definitely have its own kind of flavor to it.
Yeah.
So it was probably made by a demigod for something this powerful. And it's probably made devoted to some god, but it's not literally a god who's running the show here.
Okay.
And my last question is, I just
You can hang on to it too. You don't have to use it up.
yeah. Well, I know I will forget about it. So that's my thing. How does this? No, I know that answer because it's the sacrificial area. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna hold on to it because I can't really figure out like how to parse a question.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So, how do we respond to the black vape?
I'm just gonna kind of like waft it away and be like, look at her like, that's not like, nice try, but that doesn't work on me.
Okay, so you give her a dirty look.
Right.
Lita, what's your reaction to somebody like trying?
Do we know her? Do we know this?
I don't think you recognize her personally, but it's pretty clear she's either a supernatural creature of some kind or a demigod, and not an actual deity. Definitely gives off certain vibes, So she's not a deity, but she is some kind of supernatural being.
Well, she's trying to stop us from saving Mr. David Blaine, right?
Yes.
So is the person listening to her? Because Connor had said to bring him up, and she said no.
Right.
So are they bringing him up?
The woman who's actually at the controls, the human woman, she's stuck and confused because she doesn't want to have seen the black mist, right?
Okay.
So her mortal brain is like, I don't know what to do in this situation.
Okay. I want to push this woman far.
Okay, the one with the black eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a force push. Wrong game, I know, but
yeah, I'm a big Star Wars fan. So not necessarily trying to hurt her, but
right, because I don't necessarily want to turn this whole thing into, you know what I mean? I know there's police around. The focus is trying to get Connor's dad up. So, but I want her out of the scene or out of our way.
I mean, if you shove her, it is going to get attention. It would be a noticeable thing, which is fine. But as far as wanting to avoid the police attention, it probably will get attention. If you really toss her aside, which we could do, we'll do a bend fate to get your divine might amped up, and because she's supernatural, so she can resist a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is a one shot, right? I'm just going to use it. Let's do it. I'm going to push her.
Hit it. Okay, so I think she's pretty surprised that you're not doing what she said to do. So you definitely can get in there and shove. Couple options really. We can do bend fate if you want to really lean into this divine might and throw her off the platform. Or if you want, you can use the smite your enemies move, which rolls prowess, and you don't have to choose to do harm, right? The exchange harm part of that is optional. And you could do take something from her, which is take her position, right? Move her well out of the way.
Okay.
But I think if you want to like launch her off the platform, we would have to do the Bend Fate move.
Okay. Bend Fate. So
that's plus weird.
Oh, I have a -1 to that.
Mm.
Okay.
You could still roll well.
I could. Let's see. Okay, 7 total.
Okay, yeah. So the 7 on Bend Fate says you get a boon and a bane, and one of the boons is going to be, push your gift beyond the normal limits. Do you have the basic moves there?
Yes.
I didn't open them up.
I do.
And then you'll just have to pick a bane.
Okay. So 1 boon and 1 bane. Okay.
Yeah.
Give someone else. Oh, I like someone's supernatural ability. Oh, wait. So if I say someone's supernatural ability is unusable for the scene, could that be hers, or does that have to be one of my allies?
As a bane, it would have to be you or your ally.
Okay. Well, that's a boon. That's under boon.
Oh, your boon is going to be that you push the gift beyond.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a bane. Sorry about that. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Become something bad finds you. Ooh. I will become stunned for a few moments. So maybe, and you can pull me back narratively if you want, but maybe as I launch her, she like exhales some more of her
I love
mist,
that.
and then I'm kind of stunned for a few moments.
Yeah, because you've already shown to resist it, you're not going to do what she says, but now you're sort of like stuck as you shove her. Yeah, she exhales real hard as she's like, what? And you get a face full of that. And just to be clear too, the Bend Fate could be used like Connor, if you wanted to like shake that effect, like if you wanted to dispel that mind control, that's something that Bend Fate could do. If it was important to do that in the moment. But just to set the scene, you have shoved her aside, and that was your big move. So she is just like off the edge of the platform, and everyone is going like, someone fell off the platform. Connor, there's a moment right now where you could spin this to be either Lita threw someone off the platform or someone accidentally fell off the platform. And so if you wanted to jump in with a sway someone, you are, a supernatural being.
Right.
Do you want to sort of...
Yeah, I think I'll make a big scene and say that, oh my word, someone just fell off, and I will, I'll try to make a big deal that I'll sway everybody's over there.
That sounds like you're telling a big fat lie, right?
That is pretty much, yeah. I mean, that's, that's what happens.
I think you'll get your fake news bonus for that.
Nice. Nice. So +1 to sway someone. So that is... So I just have to roll for that?
Yeah, you roll.
Right,
the sway someone is
plus
plus your awe.
Okay, so that's going to be giving me a +2. So that's actually going to be +3 then? So they get the +1. Okay. 3, that's a 10.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, so huge success. Your influence just floods the crowd. And actually, Lita, I'm going to say the extra, like just the force of his personality blows the mist out of your mind. Like you're no longer,
awesome.
Right? Like it's just like you're forced to listen to what he's saying, and that like clears your mind of like, whoa, okay, Connor, you're a lot. And Connor, the whole narrative switches to, oh my God, she just fell off. So people are throwing the like life preserver over, and people who are on the water, like there's a safety crew in a boat who are like coming around like, oh, we're gonna help this person. Nellie, you see a person, like a human in a business suit, who I don't think you've been able to get any of the context of what she was doing up there, right? Like that's probably separate from what you know about.
Probably.
But yeah, she just goes like head first, poof, in all the like diving bubbles. Like, did that person just dive in the water? Like, oh no, she looks pretty disoriented. What do you do? Oh, are you muted?
Yeah.
I am muted. Hello.
Hello.
So I'm going to use my last question. How does this person factor into our weave?
This person is so a slightly complicated impression. You get the impression that your weave, that this person endangers your weave, but it's not like aimed at your weave. Does that make sense? Like you are incidentally in danger because of her.
Oh. Okay. I'm just going to, I guess, dive in and just start swimming after her then.
Okay. As a dolphin?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You were in the water already, right?
Yeah.
You were, yeah. I thought so. Yeah. So you head over to her, and she sees you coming and is immediately like trying to get away from you.
I dip down. Can I see her eyes at all, or is she too far away?
No. You go right up to her, and she's just like, "Oh God, this dolphin coming at me." I think you don't see her eyes, but you do see these like her hands are like, "Oh no, get away!" And also these. Do you know who Dr. Octopus is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these like black tendrils are coming out of her back.
Oh no.
And like as several more limbs, right? Of like trying to push and get away. And it really seems like an instinctual, like she hasn't cast a spell. She just went like, oh, get away. And these tendrils are like pushing at you, and they're like black, like kind of like a viscous liquid with a sharp talon at the end of each one.
I love it. That's great.
Yes, it's nasty. I hate it. I don't know why. I described it and I hate it. So,
all the time, I understand. So as soon as I see these things coming out at me, I'm just like, ugh. The awkward dolphin slowly back.
Yeah. What I'm going to have you do is roll perform under pressure, because you'll be. She's like trying to do harm to you.
Oh, that's cool.
So you're going to try to avoid that.
Perform under pressure. That is metal. Okay. Oh, it's an 8.
Oh, an 8. Okay. So you're just going to take 1 harm.
Okay.
Unless you have armor.
I am not armored.
Okay. So you take 1 harm and you swim away. As she's not chasing you. She was just like, dolphin. And it looks like she would have been fine just murdering a dolphin. She's just gonna kill it. So that's she's definitely not a regular human.
Yeah, I'm gonna swim back to the boat and like swim around where like I get onto the boat where it's like she can't see, and like lay on the boat as a dolphin and then just turn in back into a human, just like lay there for a hot second.
Okay, just catch your breath.
Yeah, also like tend to my bleeding arm because I think she got like the fen.
Yeah, well, 1 through 3 harm is not super injured, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm like, ah.
Yeah, that does suck though.
You probably need a Band-Aid.
I don't think
Doug. Sorry.
Right on your cheek. Maybe?
Yeah, right. She got you right there.
Oh, jeez.
It's a little grazing shot there. Okay, so the woman shoves away this dolphin that came at her. She doesn't pick up on the fact that you're like now in the boat, right? Because you get up there before she swims up to the top.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, as you're like laying in the boat, you realize like, I'm going to use some of the cover of the console, like the part of the boat, as she goes up the pylon with her like 6 black tendrils, just like spider climbing up the side of it, as she's going back up. So that's I don't know, seems notable.
That's great. I'm gonna once she's up and over, I'm gonna start climbing up.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Dr. Sanchez and Gwen, what are you two up to?
Okay, well, in the general...
I think the two of you get up there in time to see Lita force push this producer off the edge. Probably couldn't see her black eyes and figure out like why did he just shove that woman off the platform.
She had a good
reason. Then you see, Connor sort of take over the situation to, telling everyone these are the droids you're looking for.
It's fine.
Into Star Wars.
Fine, guys.
So, what are you two doing?
Well, if everybody is just kind of dealing with this woman who just fell in the water, I feel like it would be a good time to try to figure out how to get Mr. Blaine out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea.
What's your idea, Doc?
I could cast a portal right where he is.
Oh.
I need a minute.
Okay.
And to be underwater for a minute.
Wait.
I don't know how to do that.
Wait. Well, can you hold your breath for a minute?
No.
Oh.
What do I look like?
A demigod.
Burn. There has to be some kind of like diving equipment or something around here.
There's tons of it all over the place. Yeah.
That's true. I don't know how to use it.
Okay. Do you know how to use a snorkel?
I don't know what that is.
Do you
I'm going to call a reference book.
It's a tube you breathe out of. You go in the water, the tube sticks out of the water so you can get air.
It does explain itself. Yes, now that I see.
Do you have to be all the way underwater or just in the water? Like, how far down do you have to go?
I need to be present in order to make the portal.
Okay.
And I can't be present unless I'm down there.
Oh. Scuba gear.
Yeah.
I also need a notebook that will work underwater. This won't.
Okay. You know what else we could do that's less complicated than that?
Oh, I have some more needs, but go ahead.
We could maybe just find the button on this console that brings the thing up. The box.
It's a good plan. It's a good plan. I love it.
So,
good. Okay.
Gwen, I think Gwen's pretty good at sort of picking up context clues and ritual effects.
Right.
The controls of this thing. There's this woman who I was talking about before, the woman who's like operating it. She's still stunned. Like there's a bunch of stuff going on. She just got like all this mist wafted by, and then she got cornered right in the face. So that's a lot. That's a lot for anyone. She's just sitting there, and you could like just go up and use like she's not going to stop you from using.
Okay, excuse me. Pardon me.
Where you go?
Look right here, Doc. The console. You might need to help me with this. I'm not always real good at this technical stuff.
Gwen, why don't you do read the weave? I almost said perform the weave, which is different.
That's gonna be 9.
Okay. So Doc, do you want to do a provide aid roll to see if we can make it a 10?
Yeah, I mean, if I see that she's trying to read the weave, I'll probably just, maybe write down what she's saying and decode what and help her decode it.
Trying to pick up the, the patterns and the like, how does this equipment work? Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to make the thing go. What do you see in here?
What am I rolling to assist?
You'll roll plus the number of tangles that you have with Gwen.
Just one. That's 9.
Okay, so Gwen, you get a +1 to your roll.
Yay!
Which makes it a 10, which is a big honking success. You see right away, like, okay, these are the emergency like release controls, and you can see that they've been like triple locked out, right? Like it's actually really unsafe the way this is set up. Like all of the emergency controls have had these sort of arcane impediments put in place.
Gosh, haven't any of these people seen The Prestige? This guy's gonna drown in there. Come on.
It seems like that almost might be the intention. It's a bunch of stuff put in place that mortals wouldn't notice that would make it really hard to bring him up. But apparently she couldn't do it in a way that completely eliminated the safety controls. So this was her sort of workaround.
She just made it puzzle box safety controls.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, you and the doc working together, you sort of figure out what the pattern of this is, and you have access. I don't know if you want to hit it right away, but you have access to like eject the glass box, which will immediately float up because it's actually full of air.
Okay. Yes. Doc, unless there's any reason you can think of that I shouldn't, I'm getting him out of there.
Hold on.
And also Connor and Lita, this is right next to where you are. So
I'm making a big deal about hold on.
What?
Shh. Okay, do it.
Okay. Boop. I hit the final button and bring him up. Or at least hopefully.
Okay, so yeah, all these release clamps, these clamps let go. There's a huge, oh, Nelly, you're like heading up to the platform now, right?
Yeah, I'm like getting up onto the platform now.
Okay, yeah, so no one's underwater. But yeah, you all see this, eruption of bubbles, and then a very surprised man in a glass box has bobbed to the surface, and I mean it's not literally glass, but is now like he's looking very confused and concerned, and actually looks kind of angry. Connor, when your dad looks angry, like he's angry right now. And you also, the four of you who are up there already, Nelly, I think as you come up, you're probably the one person who's not 100% focused on what's happening here. And you see Blue over by the catering, all the like food setup.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like trying to catch someone's eye, like, what is going on? Because everyone else is running around like emergency mode, but she just saw her 4 demigod friends come up here and start some shit. And like, no, she's like, hey, what is happening? And he's like, Connor, like, trying not to just yell and get herself in trouble. So Nelly, that's what you come up to the platform to see.
Yeah, I'm going to look at them, and I think they got it under control. So I'm going to start like scooting over to where Blue is. Like that nonchalant sort of like side shuffle. Just like try to get to her.
Okay. Yeah, you head over to her and she's like, oh my God, what is happening? Why is everyone decided that Lita didn't throw that woman off the platform? What the hell?
Blame Connor.
Okay, that is a comfortable place to be in.
Connor is the reason that they think so.
Okay, are we in danger?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good time for Scary Spider Lady to come back up. With her 6 black tendrils, they look much more solid out of the water. Comes up, and at this point, most of the mortals on the platform, like, there's no way to get away from this. And they don't want to see it, and a lot of people just pass out. Like it's too much, right? So people have either passed out or pieced out. Like they're just like, I'm just gonna get in the boat and just go away now because this is like, our job must be done today. It's time to go home. The craft services is like packing up the helicopter because they can do that and not look at what just came out of the water. And Blue is just wide-eyed, like, oh my God, what? So anyway, this woman comes up out of the water and she grabs a spare like scuba tank and is swinging it at Lita.
Oh yeah, I pushed her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were the one who did that.
And so she's used 2 of her tendrils to lift herself up. This is a very like Dr. Octopus kind of look. She is she is fighting you. So how do you, Lita, we should let you respond first.
Is she throwing it at me?
She has it and is gonna like hit you with it like a flail kind of.
Oh, so we're close.
No, it's you're fairly close. It's
Okay.
just these tendrils go a long ways.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm here. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I want to just try to move. No, I want to try to dodge this, obviously, but I want to move closer to get to her.
Okay, so it seems like we want to do smite your enemies, because that'll give you the
that.
options of what you want to do. So you're going to roll plus prowess.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you roll with Fate's favor because she is spluttering, like she's still like catching her breath. You just threw her off a tower, right? So, and she isn't totally sure, like she's a little bit scared of you. So,
cool.
You're going to roll 3 dice.
Yeah. Okay. So 10 total because I have +3.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Yeah, that's a big roll. So you get to pick 3 things from Smite Your Enemies. If you want to do harm to her, you have to pick Exchange Harm. But she will also do harm to you minus your armor. So I think you said you have epic armor, right?
No, I have epic weapon, but I have Iron Heart.
Oh yeah, which one's that? Is that the extra
That's
health?
two additional harm boxes in front that you always mark first.
Okay, great. Okay, so the exchange harm move means you'll both take harm because I think you can move quickly enough to get in and make an attack.
Okay.
And she will also hit you.
Okay. Yeah, I have Unstoppable, so I figured I could get to her.
Yeah, easy. You just shove things out of the way and charge.
Yeah. So I can pick 3 of these, right, from Smite?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make an opening, which is +1/4 to an ally who follows my lead.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case someone else wants to.
Yeah. So usually I ask, what do you make it possible for someone to do that they would have had trouble doing before?
Good question. So I think, so maybe if I gain an advantage position, then maybe I exchange harm. So maybe I get in and hit her. Can I do that on Smite Your Enemy?
Yeah.
I get in and I hit her, but then I move. I'm still kind of in that unstoppable mode. So I move out really quick, leaving her more open and me being to the side where she can't, it's going to take her a second to like find me to attack me again.
Yeah. So she's a little off balance trying to keep track of you and everyone else. And
right.
Okay. So she is gonna swing in for some harm, and she gets you for 2 harm. It's kind of a glancing blow, and it also communicates to you that she is actually like these tendrils are an epic weapon, so she would actually do more harm normally.
Okay.
So just be aware she's dangerous. And you take 2 harm, but you dealt 4 harm to her, which is
sweet.
A lot. What weapon are you using?
My fist.
Okay. Your epic weapons are usually like something you pick up and use. But it doesn't have to be. You can just punch her real hard.
I'm thinking.
Like a folding chair. It could be a folding chair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that. This has like a wrestling feel to it. Yeah, I like the folding chair since I have the deadly object. So folding chair.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
yeah,
Dr.
You get
Sanchez.
up there, smack her with the metal folding chair. She, kind of sways back on these tendrils. The blow with the scuba tank is kind of a glancing blow. You're not really injured yet, but you're 2 harm. I'd just like to go through and make sure everyone's had a turn when we're fighting something. So that's Gwen went first. Who would like to do? We don't have to go in any particular order. Also, Amanda, I need to know who is sitting with you. What is the cat's name?
His name is Odin.
Odin. Okay, thank you.
He's a black cat who's blind in one eye, so he's.
That's amazing.
He left me though, and now he's eating.
It looked very cute. Well, food is the siren call.
It's
Okay. So who would like to do a thing?
I think I will cast a spell at this beast that came up out of the water.
Mm.
And, our warrior has taken a hit. Maybe we should hurt it some more. And I'm going to take out my book and start writing a mathematical formula.
Okay.
To call down lightning.
Oh, yeah.
So I got 10 plus 3, 13.
Oh my, that is a lot. So you probably wanted to pick, like, cast it right away, cast instantly? Something
Yeah,
like
cast instantly and inflict 2 harm.
Okay.
And the cost is unwanted attention. I don't know. That's kind of cheating because everybody's all freaked out right now.
No, I can make use of that if you pick it.
Okay. Yep. Let's do it.
Okay. You call down this lightning out of seemingly nowhere, right? There's not a cloud in the sky.
Right.
But this lightning blast, boom, she again teeters back. Her tendrils sort of grab onto the platform around her as she's like swinging and trying to get her bearings again. She's dropped the scuba tank at this point as she's injured, and the platform groans. There's just a deep noise. It's not like tipping over, right? But it's something is happening, and the platform groans underneath you.
So the actual effect of the lightning and her reaction to it, I didn't even look up from my book because I had already charted out what that was going to look like in like
Yeah, that worked.
But the groan is not in here, and I'm like double checking my math. I still haven't looked up at the damage I did. I'm just
Okay.
Trying to figure out what that was.
That's great. So let's go. If it's okay, I want to have Nellie go last because she just got up here and was like helping Blue, and I think narratively it'll be fun. So how about Gwen or Connor?
Gwen, do you want to go?
Okay. So, this big, scary tentacle lady. I kind of want to tase her.
That seems like a good idea. She already got lightninged.
Yeah, we're gonna add extra light. Oh, there goes one of my d6s. Okay, well, I have more.
It's escaped.
It has.
It's Odin's die now.
It is. That's gonna go under the fridge. That's what's gonna happen there. All right. So let's see if I can hit her with my epic taser. Stop spinning and let me see what you are. All right. So that is gonna be a 13.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow. So yeah, on Smite Your Enemies, you get to pick 3 things. You'll want to pick Exchange Harm. And often with a ranged attack, if they don't have a ranged attack, you could just do harm and not take any back. But her like tendril is long enough to like snake out and get you back. So so you'll be looking at harm as well if you pick Exchange Harm. Although you can pick things like Crush Them or Protect Yourself if you want to kind of reduce that a little bit.
Okay.
You don't have epic armor, right?
What was that?
You don't have epic armor?
I do.
You do?
My epic leather jacket.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. So you're already reducing 2 harm. We know that she's basically wielding an epic weapon, so she's dealing 4. And so you're going to reduce 2 of that with your armor. You could use one of your smite options to reduce it again by 1.
Okay.
Or you could pick other stuff from there.
All right. Yeah.
I forgot that you had a +1 from the make an opening as well.
Yeah.
We'll give that to someone who doesn't have a 10 plus.
Okay. That's probably a good idea. All right. So yeah, Exchange Harm. I will also do Protect Myself so that I'm not taking quite as much. And then I'll also put myself in advantageous position for the next round. So,
so what does your position look like? Are you like giving yourself some cover or?
right. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to do is after I zap her and she lashes out against me, I realize that maybe I shouldn't be standing directly out in the open and duck behind one of the like columns on the platform.
Yeah. And I also should just give you a little bit more of a picture. This woman, in her dripping wet gray business suit, is just, it really, like, her whole visage has changed. Like, she's still essentially a person, but much more of a kind of like that, like elongated siren face, sharp teeth, and her hair is waving as if she was still underwater. So it's just kind of like drifting around her as she's attacking you all. And she's also, she's just, it was hard to tell exactly because she's sort of like growling her, but you realize she's saying things like, you've ruined it. I put all this work, all of this for nothing. And she's just completely enraged now. So it's whatever it is, you really, she's bummed out about it. Okay. So that was Gwen. Connor?
I'm going to use my nothing to see her move. Where I'm just going to and I'm going to do my whole hand gesture where I just kind of, and I turn back into the, shirtless swimsuit wearing Instagram model that is me. And I'm going to dive off the pier or dive off the platform into the water to go rescue my dad.
Oh, okay. Great.
How about him?
And I'm going to do a very Olympic type dive, very, impressive.
Yeah.
I'm going to dive.
It's good. And nobody pays attention because you used your move. So no one's like, oh my God, that guy fell off.
Yeah. No, I just do it because I know that I can do it. And because,
does your dad, is he able to like remember that the supernatural stuff is real, or is he just very mortal in that regard?
I think he's very mortal. He doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to be really confused to see you here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. He could be confused. You dive into the water. You're swimming over to get him. Let's just like a loose judgment roll, just as kind of a custom move. Roll plus your judgment.
What is my judgment? That's a 6.
Okay. You realize that that film that was pointed out earlier that was on the water is sort of coming together in some sort of form, and it is dragging at your feet as you're swimming over to the glass box, and whatever this is, this like sludgy being is grabbing at your feet as you're swimming, and you notice it because it's grabbing you.
Kind of making it hard to swim.
Yeah. So that's worth noting.
All right.
Okay, Nellie, we've come a long way.
I'm here. All right. So I've scooted over to Blue.
Yes.
She's asking what's going on. I'm like,
can you tell her it's just a dream?
No, she knows these things. I can't lie to her.
It's another Nelly reference.
Oh, damn it.
Are you Googling these, or do you know them all off the top of your head?
I mean, I think Connor would kind of know them off the top of his head.
That's good.
Anyways.
I love it.
She's like, well, David Blaine is Connor's dad, right? And so we came here because Connor talked to his dad, and it sounded, I don't know what happened, and now we're here, and apparently that lady is trying to sacrifice his dad, and she's just like spilling all the beans to Blue.
I just thought I was doing this cool gig, and I was going to tell you guys about it, and you were going to be jealous that I did like a sunset show on an oil rig, and why is this? Everything's worse. Okay. I don't. Yeah.
Do I get to share too much information with her?
Oh yeah. She definitely didn't want all of that.
As a player, I think I know that this is an oil god that's behind this. Is this something my character would know, or would I need to roll to find that out? Because I have a hilarious magic trick that I want to use. If I know it.
Yeah, I think it's worth again like just a loose judgment roll to see how much you know. Also, Nelly, I'm not done with you.
Okay.
No, I got a 6 with my bonus.
Okay.
So
You definitely. I'm going to come back to that.
Okay.
It's a loose roll, so I don't have to do a hard move, but we'll visit that in a second. So Nelly, you explain all this stuff. Blue is at least sort of caught up at this point and is accepting, like, she's not helping pack up and no one cares because no one wants to see what's really happening. But you can also sort of like get involved here if you want. Like, that doesn't have to use up your whole scene here.
Yeah, I'm going to see that my friends are getting hit, so I'm going to use regrowth to help them out a bit. Do I need to be like super near them, or?
I mean, you're all on the platform here.
Oh, yeah. True. Gotta pull it up. Where is it? There it is. 2d6 plus weird. What's my weird? Plus 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 5.
Oh. Okay.
You do damage to us.
No, I choose to take 1 harm, and I give 2 harm to a person. Oh, hey, but I'm gifted and I have vital aura, so that means I give out 3 heal 3.
Yeah. You can spread around 3 if you choose to take the 1 harm, or you could just decide that it doesn't have an effect.
I'll take the extra harm.
Okay.
Right.
So you take 1 harm that ignores your armor, and you can spread around 3 health. So,
all right. I know Lita was hurt. Is Gwen hurt as well, or?
Not by much. I only took 1.
All right, so I'm gonna give 2 to Lita and 1 to Gwen.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, I think. Well, let's see. No, you're not very planty. What does it look like when you heal people up?
I think when I heal people up, it's actually sort of just like it looks like moonbeam, sort of like shining. So it's like this white, sort of like iridescent, sort of like glow.
Cool.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
so with that, because I push myself so hard, like my nose starts bleeding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Also, with that sort of moonbeam magic at work, the tendril woman, her head snaps in your direction. Not at the people being healed, but at you specifically. And
I just give her a wave.
Right. So she's moving in your direction, just so everyone has the scene here. She's like, oh, and the with the tendril legs. Chris, with your 6-, it's retroactively occurring to you that, 28 days ago, chemistry was killed, and this is actually like the perfect way to resurrect the god chemistry. And it really feels like something you should have remembered earlier. And maybe you don't want to mention it to everybody, because why didn't you mention it earlier?
I was busy. I have all of these exams to grade.
No, I know. The question is, do you tell everyone?
No.
Okay.
No. I might blurt it out accidentally later, but not right now.
Okay.
Okay. So was I correct about it being oil, or is it chemistry in particular?
It's chemistry making use of the materials at hand.
Okay. In that case, I think I would like to cast my next spell, which is...
I should say, this is not... The god chemistry is not taking form.
Okay.
Right. but in like representation of it is.
I see an avatar of it.
Yeah. And actually, you hear a lot of like splashing, sloshing around down below too, where there wasn't a lot of activity.
I think what I want to do, and I'm not sure which is the bigger threat, but if it looks like there is oil coming onto the water, out of the water, what I want to do is cast a spell that invokes sort of a huge splash of Dawn liquid soap.
Oh.
To dissipate the oil, and kind of clear the area.
Okay. This sounds like a big, complicated spell.
This is an ascension thing?
I mean, if you want to use that, there's no question.
I think it fits.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be after the woman. It would be after the overall.
Right. So, yeah. So you go to the edge of the platform. You see, Connor being dragged by this forming, this sort of pumped up sludge monster that's down there, and it occurs to you that you know how to dismantle it. What does your Ascendance move say exactly again?
The threads of fate come together. Oh wait, reweave. That's what I'm reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the pull on the thread of the weave, and that brings together the pattern you desire. Describe the outcome. Okay. Spellcasting draws unwanted attention. Reduce maximum harm.
Oh, that's for afterwards. Those are the consequences for after you do all
so
this.
Basically, I describe the outcome of a spell of epic proportions.
Yeah.
Which is what this would be. So, I mean, I'm imagining like a just maybe it rains Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just this.
Dawn at sunset.
The particular soap they used to clean, the sea animals.
Yeah.
Not raining on the oil in the bay.
Yeah. You summon this substance, and the oily monster is quickly breaking down into component pieces, and Connor, this thing that's dragging at you is like falls into smaller chunks, and they're trying to get at you, and then they fall apart, and it's just like this continuing cascading effect of eventually just being a little bit still of a slick water, that oily, but it's no longer together, right? So that's.
And I think like before, I've tripled the formula into the book, and I didn't look up to see the effect because I already calculated it. Mm-hmm. But when I'm done, I'm just going to listen. Is that groan gone?
Yes. Yeah, the creature was forming around the pylons and was kind of using it to like form itself, and the groan was that like strain of trying to pull itself into a form.
Good. So I included it in the calculus. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll call that Dr. Sanchez's second move. Who else would like to do a thing? The and also the producer lady screeches when that happens, and she's extremely irritated. She also is pulling away from the moonbeam, Nellie's magic, is kind of tearing herself away from that, like glaring over at Dr. Sanchez, but then is basically trying to escape. She's headed for the helicopter that they were loading a bunch of the craft services into. So what do we do?
So yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'm gonna hit her again, but I don't have to go right now if someone else wants to go. Or I can hit her.
You can hit her, because I don't think the rest of us have any idea what we want to do right now.
Or you could steal the helicopter after somebody else hits her.
Or we could steal the helicopter. But the craft people are trying to get in the helicopter.
Well, she's like racing over there and like throwing stuff out of her way and like shoving people out of her way and trying to like get to where she can get in the helicopter. So
I'm gonna try to stop her from doing that.
Yeah. So do you want to smite her?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best. Yeah,
Okay.
I do want to smite her, so I'll roll.
Cool.
And do I get +1?
Plus your prowess. Oh yeah, and plus from the
Position that I took, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
3, 10, 11.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big hit. So if you want to do exchange harm, then
Yeah. I don't have any harm because Nellie healed me. Yeah.
Okay. So the she isn't retaliating because she thought she was going to be able to just do this real quick, so she's not fighting back. And you crash into her, and she actually, you have an epic weapon, right?
Yes, but it's anything. It's kind of anything that I grab.
What do you hit her with this time?
Well, I was actually thinking of taking one of the like scuba tanks and like diving after her and either trying to hit her with it, depending on how this mechanically works better, either trying to hit her with it from behind or kind of wrap it around her neck and pull her back so she can't.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you want to trap her, I think that's fine. Because you're in a position where you could actually completely take her out. So if you wanted to turn that into a trap maneuver instead of killing her, you could do that. But I mean, she was definitely trying to kill you guys. So it's, it's up to you. You're in control of the situation.
I mean, my character would take her out, but as a player, I don't want to take you know what I mean? I don't want to take that away from, like, Gwen hasn't gotten a chance. I'm gonna pull her back. I'm gonna pull her down. That's gonna be my
spread the love.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some damage to her, great. Or if she's just in a vulnerable position, but it's mostly that I want her out of the chopper so that we can finish her.
Yeah. Okay. Out of the chopper.
Exactly.
Okay. So, well, let's go to Gwen.
All right. So I have a quick question about one of my celestial moves.
Oh, yeah.
It says for the one-shot move that I have to have found someone guilty of morally repugnant crime. This octopus lady was totally putting everyone in harm's way here and was going to sacrifice Mr. David Blaine.
Yes.
I find that unacceptable. So that's all I need to be able to use this?
Yes.
All right. Good. I am morally justified. And I'm going to use my one shot. And with my epic ranged weapon, if I pull this off, I can choose to pin her in place instead of dealing damage.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Which is what I'm going to try to do. Let's see if I can manage that. Oh, that was a terrible roll.
Oh, wait. Does one shot say you don't have to roll?
Oh.
No, I still have to roll to smite my enemies.
That's right. It just is, you can't miss. That's right.
Right. Yeah, so I got a 6.
Okay, so you treat a 6 minus as a 7 to 9 with one shot.
Right.
So you, if you wanted to pin her, then basically what you do is you pick the exchange harm, but instead of harm, you restrain. So,
gotcha.
Is that okay? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, I've got her pinned in place now. Not on the chopper, but on the deck.
All right. So yeah, Lita, you're able to scramble out of the way as you see Gwen line up the shot and pin her to the deck, and yeah, she's zapped and pinned down and totally out of the fight. The tendrils have dissipated into smoke. How do we want to close this out? I know it's late too. I'm trying to respect everyone's time. So,
who hasn't gone this round?
I think Nellie and Connor.
Nellie and Connor.
Connor.
What do you guys want to do?
Let's get you in on this.
Well, Connor's got his dad scene coming up.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Just the right time to do that.
Then should I go first then if you want to do that last?
Yeah, why don't we, we'll go with Nellie and then we'll close out with Connor.
Okay. So she's pinned down now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna walk over to her and just sort of like squat down, and just sort of look at her.
Mm-hmm. She actually is trying to get away from you a little bit. She doesn't like being near you for some reason.
Ooh, it's because it's my vital energy, my vital aura.
I think you just say, I am number one.
I'm just gonna squat down and just do like the dolphin noise at her. And just start laughing and walk away.
How do you speak that way to me?
Just that you're like, hey.
I love it. Yeah, so she is trapped and afraid of you, and
And I'm gonna stay right within range, so like
uh-huh.
a little uncomfortable the whole time.
Yep. Yeah, good.
Perfect.
All right. That's a good scene. Okay, so Connor,
Right.
all the little like safety buoys have inflated next to the box. What do you do?
I'm going to swim over to the box, and I'm going to. You said it's clear, right? You can see into it.
Yeah, it's basically like a big plexiglass coffin.
Okay.
It's just a big rectangle,
Basically, I'm going to push it over to the boat.
Your boat, the speedboat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm going to get some tools to open it up. I guess you can't. I'm going to assume we can't open it from the inside.
It seems like he's having trouble. Whatever happened, he's like banging on it, and he hasn't figured out that it's you until you get like a pry bar in there, and you pop this thing open, and he goes from thinking of you as like a safety diver. He's like, "Wait, Connor, what are you doing here?" I don't know what David Blaine sounds like, so that's my best David Blaine.
Yeah, he's kind of he's that's fine.
Sure.
I just reach. I help him up, and I said, "Dad, there was something, some technical issues with your performance, and they had to cut it off quick. We had to cut it short."
You work for the. So why are you here though?
I'm just. I'm trying to think of how I can tell how to trick him. Well, Dad, you know how I've been taking pictures and I'm working in the photography. The company hired me to take pictures of your stunts. So I.
That's great. You should have told me you were going to be on set. This is, that's great. That's great. All right, let's get out of here. And he's just like back to thinking about David Blaine. Yeah, well.
Why is it so soapy?
Yeah. What is this residue? You all have saved David Blaine from being sacrificed to resurrect chemistry.
Yay.
And that's Demigods. It gets weird real quick. But I hope I had a good time. So I hope you did too. And thanks for inviting me on to be weird with you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks for running it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
That was a lot of fun.
Running it. It was a lot of fun. And like I said, if anybody is interested in this game, go check out the link in the description of this video. And if you've backed Demigods, let us know in the comments, and let us know that you're excited to play it as soon as it's ready for release. How I know we had a little interview on it previously. What's the expected target date for completion on this? What do you kind of when do you expect it to be all kind of in players' hands?
Well, if the editing schedule goes smoothly, we're hoping to ship out in November. So fingers crossed for that. But it would be the start of the year at the latest. So, but we have everything geared up for November. So if nothing goes wrong, that's the spot.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank Jason for coming on and GMing. And Jason, we'll have to have you back on, and you'll have to play a game. I know you're headed to Gen Con here in just a few moments, so I won't keep it. We will kind of cut this off all short. I want to thank Christopher Gray for coming on and playing. You can check out his website at christopher.world.
Yeah, that's it.
You can check out all the games that he's put out on there. You can also check out Amanda's work at ageofnight.com.
Which is updating right now.
Ooh, awesome.
Right now.
Awesome. and you can check out Kristen's and Tim Devine's work at diceupgames.com. And I know Tim's got a Kickstarter launching next week, which he's really excited about.
Yep.
So everyone will have to keep an eye out for that. I'm sure if you don't follow VCG on on Facebook, you can give us a like over on Facebook, because we'll share that once that launches as well. And then Morgan, where can folks find you? I mean, you're all over the place. I mean, I just say just watch the interwebs. And
we're friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
Be my friend on Facebook. Be my friend on Instagram. Be my friend on Twitter. You'll find me there. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Serena Bezos. So
Purveyor of quality tweets.
What was that?
Purveyor of quality tweets.
Oh yeah.
Serena Bezos.
Serena Bezos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Like I said, if you like this video, please give a like down below, and like I said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. So this has been Victory Condition Gaming, because winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We'll see you next time. Bye now.